two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.
Another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm 30 and still gaming, and this is Sgt McClusky. What's going on, Sarge?
It's another time travel week, bro.
I want to make sure my
Another
audio
time travel week
is not too loud, chat, because I messed with something beforehand. So I'm gonna raise my audio real fast because I couldn't test this until we went live. So I'm gonna raise my volume up just a little bit because Sarge said I was soft. So we'll see if that's better for you guys. So Generation X Gaming, weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way. We're here live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on 30 NSG. We cover gaming, entertainment news, we rant, and you can also listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and you can do the videos there as well over on Spotify. On today's show, Sarge, we're going to be talking quite a bit about a lot of different things. We're going to talk about Elon Musk. He had a little event last week. Okay,
one more step closer to Judgment Day.
Yeah, we're going to talk about vacuum cleaners spying on you.
They were already spying on you.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Assassin's Creed Black Flag. We're going to talk about most players prefer single player games. Okay, we're going to talk about life-sized warthog made by a fan in his own garage. We're going to talk about Halo, just moving to Unreal Engine and battle royales for that. We're going to talk about Xbox will start selling games directly on the Android app starting next month. And then you can also next month play all your games on straight from the device, straight from the mobile device as well. Anything that you own, it'll be able to play remote play and cloud, I think. We'll talk about Destiny Rising. It's a new Destiny game, Sarge. We love Destiny. We started this podcast because of Destiny, okay? And now Destiny has a mobile game coming out, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Black Myth Wukong we'll talk about. We're going to talk about James Bond a little bit. Take-Two, Diablo 4, and the new Universal Epic Universe we'll talk about as well, all on today's show. If you guys like what we do, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We are doing a Q&A at the end of the shows on this for Generation X Gaming. So if you have a question, please use a Q before the question, and we'll answer that at the end of the show. Or you can use a super chat during the show, and we'll answer it, much faster because obviously you paid money right then and there. So we'll answer your question. Now, as far as the questions go, try to keep it on base of the actual topics of the show, not like, am I wearing underwear or some stupid shit like that? You know what I'm saying? But if you pay $5, ask away, right? Ask away. Okay, so let's start off with what we've been playing, Sarge. Oh, chat. Just you might want to pull your earphones out a little bit, lower the volume a little bit, just for these things are loud.
I mean,
that'll wake you up.
You warned them, and then you let it play on forever. Why?
Look, that's the way it is. It
never went that long.
It's 18 seconds. It's been that. It literally says it right there, 18 seconds.
Well, then my brain is twisted because that felt like an eternity. It's like I almost started hearing words for lyrics. Like that's how long it was going on for.
It's 18 seconds. All right, so another week. It's actually been 2 weeks, Sarge. It's been 2 weeks since our last show.
It has.
Okay, so when I looked up some of these stories, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, did we talk about this? I was like, I don't remember talking about this. I was like, but it's been 2 weeks. So what have you been playing the last 2 weeks? Besides what we played last night.
I want to talk about that. What's wrong with that?
All right, you could talk about it. I'm just saying. Is there something other than people know what we played last night?
I mean, I play some things. My issue is that I'm so angry about what's going on. Like
what?
Like I want to buy a game, but then everything keeps telling me no. Like
I bought a game. I bought a game.
number one, it says you're not really buying this game. You're just buying a license. You don't really own it, right? Then another thing tells me is like the game's not complete. Why do I want to buy it now? Am I really that bored? I can't play something else, right? So I go through this whole process now. I just don't go out and spend $70 on a license for a game,
Right.
And then, like the last thing I bought, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. The last thing I purchased because I was bored, right, was I got Company of Heroes 3 on sale. Right. That's why I bought it, because I got all the packs together and I got it on sale. Otherwise than that, like I can stay busy with the games that I have on my hard drive and Game Pass, and then I have other stuff on my PC.
I think you're coming around to Game Pass, Sarge. I think you're coming around just
not
because
coming
the games
around.
Well, I think you are, because the games that are releasing are not finished. So you're like, why pay full price for unfinished games when I can pay no money for these unfinished games?
Yeah, but that should not be the advertisement of why you want Game Pass, right? The only reason why, right, currently I still have Game Pass is because they mushed it together with Xbox Live, right? Everyone keeps forgetting.
Oh, there's so many games to play. Come on.
Yeah, listen. Everyone keeps forgetting that Microsoft takes $60 away from you every year because you get to play online.
Well, sure. So does PlayStation.
Just a reason, right? So now they mush it together with Game Pass, and so it's like, well, I have to pay for Xbox Live, right? So I might as well just pay for this because it got games that come with it, right?
Right.
Like that's the psychological way of thinking about it. Otherwise, I was paying for two things. I was paying for to play games on live and to get Game Pass. Like in the beginning, I was like, no, I'm good, right? But right, I really enjoyed the Turtle game last night because I haven't played a platformed beat 'em up in so long that it was just good fun.
You played that game with us 2 years ago.
A while back.
Yeah, 2 years ago when it came.
Was
here for my son's
2 years?
Birthday. Yeah, you were here for my son's birthday, and we played it like a couple weeks after it came out.
2 years?
Yeah, I have a picture of you, me, my nephew, my brother-in-law. We were all playing. There was 6 of us all playing the game.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good God. It was 2 years.
2 years. It came out in 2022. Yep.
Right. So had a blast playing it. And not only that, I had accomplished something that I haven't accomplished in a video game since I was like probably a kid.
If you're talking about the combo,
I got a guy juggled.
Little cheating.
It wasn't cheating.
It was glitched. It was
glitched on your screen, not on my screen.
You weren't hitting anything on my screen.
It's because it was glitched on your screen, not on my screen.
Just up against the wall, just hitting something.
Yeah, I was juggling that guy's ass for 512 hits, which I thought was hilarious because that's the same kilobytes in the game originally.
Oh, very good. Very
right.
Right. I was gonna let you go.
I thought that was interesting.
I was gonna let you go to 1,000, and then I was gonna ask you to stop.
It wouldn't let me go past it. I kept doing it, and all of a sudden it just stopped.
I think the rando came up and kind of ruined it for you. I think he went up there and disturbed it.
He was trying. I kept juggling it. I kept juggling. Speaking of that rando, the rando waited till like the boss fights every match and then popped in.
Yeah, he was like waiting.
He was
like tag team. He was just like
he was doing like guest star appearances.
Ring. We need help to kill the boss. I'm coming in. Right? He just sat there. It's like I don't want to go through the board. I'm just gonna wait for the boss to.
Yeah, just wait for the boss.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, but like a game like that, and I think Waterbear mentioned it during the stream. He said that Streets of Rage 4 was out.
Yeah, well, Streets of Rage 4 came out 4 years ago. I looked it up.
4 years.
Yeah, 2020 it came out.
And I looked it up.
It looks good.
It does look good. I looked it up. It's still 4 years later, $25.
Yeah, $25. And I went, I don't know if I want to pay $25.
I don't know. I don't know if I can pay $25 for it.
But I'll tell you what, it did look great.
Yeah, it does.
And I was itching. I was like, maybe I'll buy it, maybe. But yeah, I like the Turtle game. The Turtle game is fun. I downloaded
Crossplay, 6-player.
6-player.
It hits on all the. It hits all on right
there. Not only is it 6 players, but you can play on the same screen. Like if you have 6 controllers, right? You could all sit on the same couch and play 6 players.
Yeah,
which we had for the Switch or for the
Nintendo Switch. That's like old school party game.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great. Right. I really like the game. It's fun, right? I got the DLC characters. I think one pack was $7. The other one was like $3. So for like $10, you had additional 4 characters to play.
I mean,
on top of the 7 that were already
I
there.
played through it. I got Casey Jones. That's like the win for me.
Well, that was cool at the end. I remember the first time I played it, I was a little upset because I was like, I want to be Casey Jones, but you can't be Casey Jones until you beat the game. But that was an incentive to beat the games,
of course,
to get it. Yeah. So Travis says, I own Streets of Rage 4. It's amazing. Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun.
Yep. And I did the inevitable. My brain got twisted, and I was watching a bunch of videos, and we're going to watch a video today about it. But I was watching some videos about Skyrim. I know you guys are all making faces, but I started a new character in Skyrim, and I said to myself, okay, how can I play this without cheating, but remember how to cheat the way I remember how to cheat before, like to get the skills up quick, get the money quick, without without hacking, without going through the map and stealing the treasure chest nonsense. Only took me about 2 or 3 hours. It's actually interesting. But listen, you guys can make fun of me all you want, right? Bethesda has a lot of shitty games, a lot of shitty things going on right now with their company, trying to rehash the same thing over and over. And I love Skyrim, right? I love Skyrim, right? And plus, with all the extra stuff they have now, with all the creation club with inside Xbox now, as opposed to just the PC, like all the things you could do, all the added guys, the added characters, the added NPC guys, like it's just fun to actually go into a world that's not trying to tell you anything and just exist in that world.
Right.
It just is. It's just fun.
Going back on the Teenage Mutant Turtles real fast, I can't wait for the G.I. Joe, the Wrath of Cobra. I think it's called the Wrath of Cobra. Okay. I'm going to buy that when it comes on the console. What's it called? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is coming out. Same type of game. I'm going to probably buy that as well. And then they also have the Toxic Avengers, and I'm going to buy that as well, right? Because I want like the set of those type of games. The G.I. Joe I played on PC a couple weeks ago, I like it.
Can you imagine just for a moment if everyone would just stop all this sweet baby shit and this corporate shit, and they would just come out like with like 3 or 4 titles back to back within like a year and a half of just like every 3 months, boom, a title comes out and everyone just loves it and just like you embrace video games again.
Stop with
like,
politics, just make games.
Like Battlefield, G.I. Joe, like boom, right? Just boom, right? How about like a Diablo without the microtransactions, like a Transformers game, boom, right? An Indiana Jones game without the wokeism, boom, right? A Mass Effect game that makes sense again, right? The bringing back a Shepard, like going after Han Solo and Carbonite type of thing. You don't know if he's dead or not, and you spend half the game looking for him, and you don't know if he's alive or not. Like, embrace the sci-fi again,
right?
Boom. Like, it's the titles are there. They're there, right? I just saw on Game Pass also there's a download for that Kingdom of Crowns. I know no one knows that game either, but it's basically it's a economy management type game, but it's a side scroller. They just came out with another download, but this time it's Greek gods, and they added a few new features to it.
Which game is this?
It's called Kingdom 2 Crowns. It originally was a single player game, but you can actually play it 2-player.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's just a fun little side scroller. It's meant for younger kids, but older people play it. It basically teaches you about economy and how to survive. It's like a survival game within an economy. It's interesting. I like stuff like that. So between Bad Company 3, the Turtle game, Skyrim, there was another one I was playing earlier. I downloaded I don't want to get it wrong. I know it's BattleTech or MechWarrior. I think MechWarrior Clans, right? Now, I like that one because it's not like that other mech game that came out, the really speedy one, where you have the weightiness. I love the mech battle stuff, right? Like, I played the shitty version of that on my Apple IIc and had to use my imagination for half the fucking graphics in my head. And I still loved it back then. And now you're giving me a full 3D rendered first-person, third-person warrior mech battle game, right? And co-op. And co-op, bro. And co-op. I'll say it again, right?
Does it have co-op?
But stuff like that's just cool. Your friends get on, You load up some missions. You get dropped off in the ship. Everybody's got their mech spec'd out for what you want to do. Some guys are speedy. Some guys are the firepower. And you guys, like, it's almost like basically sci-fi football, 5-player matches, right? But you're with your buddies.
What was that? What was that Mecha chat? What was that game that came out a couple weeks ago? Brain Eclipse, you played it.
The speedy one, right?
Mecha Mechs or something, something like that. That's a PvP game, Sarge. You would like that. That's on PC. I think you can put a demo for that.
There were so many. There's
Mecha Break. That's it. Thank you, Travis.
Mech Warrior has come so, like, I know a lot of people don't like Mech Warrior as much. Like, they like Titanfall more than they like Mech Warrior. You know what I mean? Because Titanfall is more of a quick in and out type of thing. Like, I respected Titanfall. I just didn't respect what they did for the mech, because you got into the mech, but it was like getting into like a paper mache tank. It's like if they fired on you for 2 seconds, you'd be dead,
you're dead
and out of the mech. It didn't make any sense that you didn't give the mech any meatiness. Nobody was scared that you were in a mech. You know what I mean? Like like the old days of Battlefield, when somebody rolled up on you with a tank, and we've repeated this comment before, but it stands the test of time. When somebody rolled up on you with a tank, you went into panic mode, because you were too far away from the respawn. Your squad leader was dead. You don't have a rocket launcher, and you can't just throw grenades at it and win, right? That's how a mech is supposed to be when a mech rolls up on you. Like, it just, they try to make games where everything is plausible, as opposed to a little bit more nuance to what happens when you have a tank, or when you have a mech, or when you have a jet. Like, hard counters necessary. That's why there were AA guns in Battlefield 2042, or not 2042, in most of the Battlefield games, because you needed to knock down a plane. Like, you saw a plane flying around, and if it was somebody who was good, right, your guys get pinned in the base. It'd be nonsense. Like, you had to put those guys. Listen, you had to put the dog down. Like, you had to put the dog down, right? So you build the AA gun, you get the AA vehicle, and you lock onto his ass and get his ass out of there. This is how it had to be, right? And it had to be talked about in the match. We like, there's an ace pilot on the other team. We've got to go more AA. And they go, okay. And so there'd be like 3 guns made, 3 vehicles with anti-air, and then he's not in the air for more than 10 seconds. So if we're focusing on him, he can't play right. So he's got to do something else. And like, that was like the ebb and flow of the original Battlefield series. It's just how it was. Right? Guys that were really good in vehicles, right? Guys that were really good in vehicles knew how to use the tanks, pull back, repair the tank, come back in, instead of just driving their tank to the death. Right?
I used to love being the helicopter guy. I used to love taking the helicopter, going in, dropping people off, going back.
Have you seen present day helicopter pilots? I watch videos on those guys. They are incredible. I'm watching
like upside
in
down.
Multiple games, by the way. In multiple games. I'm watching guys come up on a building, do a full 180 roll with a flip in the air, and just go like this and drop off the guys, and then take off like this.
Yep, it's awesome.
It's amazing.
It's amazing to watch, and it makes me want to turn that game back on just to play helicopter pilot.
Right, Squad. There's a bunch of guys. Right, Squad, Call of Duty, Battlefield, like just whatever games had choppers. They're showing you the helicopter pilots, how they play. It's incredible how those guys fly.
What else have you been playing?
I can't remember the name of the last game I played. There was one more. We haven't played Borderlands. We should have been playing Borderlands the DLCs. We should have just kept going.
I mean, we can start again next week.
You know, this is like a weird time of year for me, right? Because I get a taste for a certain game and I play it, and then I lose the taste for it, like, and it falls out. You know what I mean? Like for all of a sudden, I want fantasy, so I'm playing Skyrim, right? And I'm starting to look at Baldur's Gate 3 a little bit more. I'm like, you have time? I have time for it. I got time. Right?
You could have beaten Baldur's Gate 3 by now.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
You're like going everywhere else, but you're not.
I'll be honest. I sometimes it's just.
Why don't you go back in and play Elder Scrolls Online? There's much more DLC and stuff that came out for that.
There is. And I think after I play Skyrim, I'll probably get the bug for that for a little while, and I'll play that for a few weeks. It's just how it goes. Right? But I don't have the need to buy empty new games that are not complete. I just don't.
So I played some demos earlier this week on stream. On Monday, I did a twofer. Right, I played 2 demos. I played a game called Precinct, The Precinct. Okay, and let me bring that up on the screen. Okay, this is a game that's not out yet. It's coming out sometime, I think, early next year. It's supposed to come out end of this year.
I watched you play this.
This is
Did
a
we
great
not
game.
talk? Did we not talk about this?
This is a great game.
Did
I want this.
Did we not talk about this?
Oh yeah. Well, this is what Grand Theft Auto was originally. Grand Theft Auto was a police game that they changed into Grand Theft Auto. Okay, where you were supposed to be a cop, instead now you're the criminal. Okay. Well, now this game's coming out, and it's sort of like old school style, not top down, but 3/4 view. Okay, and you're doing the beat. You start off as a beat cop, and in the demo you get to do the parking ticket violations. You do like a bank robbery. You do a helicopter mission, and then it's over. It's about 40 minutes long. Okay, I had a blast with this game, and I can't wait for this. Is a buy. This is a buy when it comes out for me. Obviously, if it's working, right? Like I don't want to buy a game if it's broke, but if it's working, this game, this is a day one buy for me. If it turns out to be everything's good with it, you know what I mean? I really like this. I was like, oh man, this is cool. So I like the voice acting was pretty good. It's like cheesy but not cheesy type of stuff.
Yeah, but you do remember we talked about playing a police simulator.
Yeah,
you're a cop.
there's plenty of police simulators, right? This one I think is going to be the best one, right? There is a police simulator, but this particular game, the Precinct, I feel is going to be the better one. Now, the gunplay I didn't really like too much. Let me fast forward a little bit to the. Let me fast forward here. This is the gunplay that's happening here. You got to get behind the car, and then the bank robbers come out. All right. And I played it again after the stream. I played this again. So I actually had a different outcome where I didn't kill all the guys and I arrested them instead. Okay. But this in here, I kill them. I kill all the bank robbers that come out. Okay.
You don't say kill as a cop, bro. You see, we neutralized the.
All right. Well, I neutralized all the scumbags that came out of the bank.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got that. What got me thinking about this when I was playing this the first time, I was like, man, if this could be a co-op where like the bank robbers are like guys you're playing against, and then you're the cops and you're going against each other, and you have to like. I thought that could be interesting if it was like a.
But that was Hardline, bro. You didn't like Hardline.
Well, that's fine. Hardline was a Battlefield
Hardline.
game. I didn't like Hardline because that's not a Battlefield game, right? If you want to make that a standalone game, cool. Okay, just not in Battlefield. So, oh look, they're using the scroll just like me, chat. So this I really like. I recommend people if you're looking at this and going, oh, it looks interesting. There's a demo right now on Steam. Go play it. I think you'll like it if you like these types of games.
I think a game like this, and this goes against my better nature, but I'll just say it. A game like this would benefit from being a live service because you could put more cases inside the game.
Sure.
You could put more crimes inside the game, and
that's
basically
what I wanted them to do with Gotham Knights.
And it would do two things. It would get kids interested in being a cop and showing what you actually have to do as a cop. Right? You don't have to like type out the reports in the game, of course, but
right. I don't want to sit there and have a fucking actual job.
No, but what I'm saying is, it basically teaches you what cops do and what they're supposed to do, the actual rules, actual regulations. Like I think that would be a beneficial thing for kids to play, right? If nothing else, if you don't want to be a cop, learn the laws or learn what they can get you for. Either way, it's educational, right?
Hardline was a good game if it wasn't a Battlefield game. It was a terrible game because it was a Battlefield game. That's not what Battlefield is. It was the complete opposite. That was when EA was trying to go for the Call of Duty crowd, and they completely bailed and bombed with that game. So both World and Travis both liked it, and I have to say, you were one of the 250,000 people that enjoyed it because that game was the worst selling Battlefield game in the history of Battlefield, just to let you guys know. So just letting you know, you can like it, but it's the worst Battlefield game that they created. Okay.
I think this could be this is an indie title, right? There's nobody big behind this one. There isn't like a company supporting it from the back end. Is this a true indie company that did this?
I'm not sure about who the company is or anything like that.
I've been wanting to see a game like this for a while. I think this is kind of cool. It's only on PC though, right?
Yeah, well, no, this is coming on console.
It is coming on console.
Yeah, this is coming on console. Yeah, I'm excited about this.
I mean, how many crime games do they have, right? Right? GTA, Mafia, like you have all the Godfather, you have all these Scarface, you have all these games over the years of being a criminal, right? It just stands to reason that you would actually have a realistic like policeman game and teaches about police.
Well, as you can tell on the screen, it actually says pre-alpha right? So this is a pre-alpha build
That's fine.
that they had.
It still looks decent.
Yeah,
Right? I thought it was interesting how you like the suspects kid. You throw him in a body bag like immediately.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
I thought
Nobody
nobody
even puts nobody even puts the crime tape up. It's just automatically he's in a body bag.
Body bag.
Well, it's cool. Listen, I think that if you mix something like this with LA Noire, like where you have to try to solve the actual crimes, but you have this in an open world, I think that would be an interesting concept.
See,
right?
I would love. I don't know if this is what the game does, but I would love if you start off as a beat cop. Okay,
and if you do well, you become a detective.
Correct. You work your way up, right? And the end game is that you become the sergeant of
the chief of police.
The chief of police. Yeah.
Right. And chief of police is more of a administrative role, and you like it. Basically, if you play the game correctly, it teaches you how to go through a police career in like real life.
I would love if you work your way up. Like you start with no car, you're working and you're just doing the streets, going to businesses, doing little misdemeanors and stuff like that.
Working the neighborhoods.
And then you work your way up.
Yeah.
That's what I hope happens when you play this game, right? The other game I played, now when I played this game, I was like, I'm going to play this game for like an hour and I'll play the other game for an hour. I played the other game for 4.5 hours. I had a almost 6 hours stream, a 5-hour stream. Okay, I played
the pawn shop. You're talking about the pawn shop game, right?
I played Storage Hunter.
I actually thought this was like a meth lab game.
Storage Hunter Simulator. And let me tell you something. After I was done playing this,
it's so bad though, bro.
Right?
After I was done playing this, I get why. I get why you're playing it. I get it, but the graphics there's no.
I don't care about graphics.
I know, but it's almost like they didn't give a shit. Like it looks like she's some kind of like hobo Jedi.
Yeah, like, she's like Angelina Jolie, like
floating things around with her hand. It's like it's weird looking.
Yeah, this was my.
Listen, if you told me that this game was like two guys in the garage and they were trying to make a game so they can get a name for themselves, I would say yeah, no problem.
So the demo was good, right? I enjoyed the demo. I got a coffin on the front of the bumper. Right. Right. So I played the demo, and I was like, "This is actually pretty good." There's a good like repeat, right? It's a good
loop
in the game, right? So as
are you trying to channel your inner Mexican here? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm trying to put as
like
much
no
stuff
straps,
on the back of
no
a pickup
ties,
truck.
just it's how you stack the truck. Yeah. Put your hand on the mattress.
Yeah. So you start off you're a redneck, right? You're a redneck living in a trailer park, and you're doing storage wars, right? So you're bidding on stuff. You have a beat up truck. They actually give you a better truck in the demo because the truck that you have in the actual game before you upgrade stuff is worse than this. Okay. But
how many times do you have to load this truck, bro?
I was learning what to do. Right? I was like, come on, stay in there. So you buy the stuff, okay? You buy the stuff, and then you have to put it on the truck, and then you have to bring it to the pawn shop and sell the pawn shop and build it up.
Yeah, but I saw you. I didn't see you were in a pawn shop. You were selling stuff on eBay, right?
Yeah, I was originally you started selling stuff on eBay, but you can't do that until you appraise the items and whatnot. Okay.
So the pawn shop is like the next level up.
I can't sell these
selling
now.
Stuff on eBay.
No, I can't sell. Well, here's the thing: in the demo, you can sell on eBay. In the game, you have to unlock that at a later date, right? So
you can't sell on eBay.
No, not off the bat. Okay, so you have to get this back to your house to put it in your storage before you can sell it. Okay, so that's why anything you have in the truck, you got to get it back to the house and put it in your storage to then sell it. Okay. After I was done playing the demo for 4 hours, okay, and I'm addicted to this game, by the way, Chad. I'm addicted to this game. I know,
but you like these kind of games. I get it.
I just think they're fun. It's fucking stupid, but it's fun at the same time. Okay, I bought the game, $20. It's $25. It's on sale right now for $20. I bought it. I had so much fun. I was like, you know what? It's a completely different game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's much better. Okay, much better than the demo, where there's appraisers. So now you bid on shipping container or shipping wars. There's 2 maps. Okay, there's 2 maps. There's auctions. There's different areas where you go. Different areas where you actually purchase stuff.
Okay? No meth lab, right?
No. There's appraisers. Okay, so let's say like certain things. It'll say like equipment, or it'll say like sports memorabilia or stuff like that. So you have to go. If it has a question mark, you can't sell it because you don't know how much to sell it for. So you have to get those things appraised.
You could sell it, but
it won't let you sell it at the pawn shop. They won't sell it. They won't take it because it's got question marks because they don't, right? So you have to go get it appraised in the game, right? You have to go get it appraised. Now, when you show up to a pawn shop,
I saw you gouge. You broke the game basically. I saw you gouging everybody.
Yeah. Oh, here I'll fast forward.
You're going to be a millionaire. Like in 2 weeks, you'll be a millionaire from gouging everybody from a pawn shop.
I was selling it in the pawn shop later. And I was just gouging the prices.
And Robert, the reason why I say you're inner Mexican is I got that from Ralphie May. If you ever watched Ralphie May, the stand-up comedian, he had passed away some years back. But what a fantastic, what a fantastic comedian he is. He does this whole bit on Mexicans, and he just does it so well. And he talks about the truck that they don't use the straps and they just pile up the thing. It's just that's why I say you're channeling your inner Mexican because I think about that skit.
This is a lockpick guy. So if you have a locked chest, you have to bring it to him to unlock it, and it takes time. It takes like an hour or 2 hours, and you come back, and then you can open it up and see what's inside the thing.
I did see you sold like a katana for like $3,000.
$3,000, yeah. I sold it. It was a legendary item, right? They have legendary items.
Japanese
in the game.
Sword. Somebody's in someone's garage,
right? So
you know what I thought was interesting though when I was watching you play it, right? Like I'm watching the process. You're opening up the damn junkyard, and there's just a bunch of junk inside this room. But then after like an hour and a half, you start recognizing the junk. And so you know exactly what you can sell it for.
Yeah.
So now you know exactly what you can bid for it. Yeah. Right. So it's just like reality. It's just like real life.
So there's inside the actual game, there's levels of auctions. Okay. I didn't really notice it when I was playing here. Okay. But when you're playing here, you'll see the level. You can have level 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 1 is the cheapest. 5, you're going into the thousands. Like your bid starts at like 2,000, 3,000, and you're getting bigger things, and there's more legendary items and more things that you have to do. It's got a good loop. I know it sounds stupid and it looks fucking stupid, but let me tell you, it's a blast. It's a blast if you like these types of games, like Cooking Simulator or Trading Card Simulator is another one I was looking at and playing. But when you open up, just like you said, Sarge, you open it up, you're like, okay, there's pieces of furniture in there. I can get
like,
$60
originally you don't
for
know
that.
nothing, right?
I
You
can
don't
get
know
$120 for that. I can get $250 for that. You're like, all right, I'll go. And let me tell you, when I opened up these garages in the very beginning, I was like, I'm not going to go more than 180.
That stupid giant 1890s, whatever that garbage thing is. It looks like a thing from 1890. It looked like a bicycle.
Oh, it wasn't a bicycle. It's a farming piece of equipment. Yeah.
Yeah, farming equipment from 1890.
Yeah. it's like an Amish like plow
horse
or something
buggy,
like that.
Yeah. Amish plow, yeah. Just trash.
Yeah. So this is a fun game. I'm gonna play this again on stream because now I own it and now I know a lot more stuff to do. And it's interesting. I was actually watching a gamer on YouTube playing it, and it gets pretty high up in money, right? Because you have to become the end goal is there's a house that you have to buy. It's a mansion. And that's
she's living in a double wide. I hope she gets a house.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So the pawn shop owners, okay, in the game, are the guys from the pawn shows.
Stop it.
Yeah, the son works one. The son works in one shop. The dad works in the other. And I haven't been to the third shop yet.
Stop it.
Okay, and then when you buy the shop, they work for you. They're your employee, and you can give them the ability to automatically put the stuff up to bid. Okay, or you can have there's a skill tree. Okay, and you can start making your pawn shop only sell like exquisite items. Like if you want to be just a furniture pawn shop, you'll get more extra, higher bids, or you can haggle more with people. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And you have to upgrade your pawn shop. Like what they do in the demo here, they give you a lot more spots than you get when you get in the game. You have to earn and unlock the stuff, and it's in the thousands that you have to unlock certain things. So overall, I've been playing this. I've been playing Thrones and Liberty. I tried the Precinct. We played a little bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So all around, these are fun games.
I forgot to mention that we did play Throne and
Throne and Liberty. Yeah, I like it. I like Throne and Liberty. I'm at the point right now with Throne and Liberty though, where I'm just playing the story missions, and I was stuck for a little bit. Now I'm at level 32. It now unlocked something else for me, but there's nothing that I want to like grasp onto, right?
I know. Salute.
Excuse me. I was thinking about picking up New World on console, but I don't feel like spending that much money for a game when I can play Throne and Liberty and it's free to play, right? Call me cheapskate or whatnot. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to dive in and play that as much as I want to, because there's just other games coming out. And you know what? For $20, I'm having fun with this game. So that's what's happening on what we've been playing. So let's go to the top stories. Chat, here's your next warning here. Okay, your next warning of pull your earbuds out of your ears, your headphones, turn down the volume, because here comes the next top story. All right. I can't do anything about it. This weekend, I'm going to work on these videos, take them into a separate program, and then lower the volume because they're just super loud. Okay. All right. So it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on. We were missed last week because of a hurricane that hit Florida and whatnot. So, but Black Flag, okay, has been in the rumor mill here that Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake is closer than you think, right? It's actually happening, Sarge. And basically the reason I'm bringing this up, because of AC Shadows is delayed till February. My question to you, Sarge, is do you think that this comes out before AC Shadows? And what I mean by that is, do you think this comes out before the end of the year? Or do you think this comes out in February and they delay AC Shadows even further? Okay, because this is coming out.
I got to be honest. With all the nonsense that's going on right now, I don't really believe that AC Shadows is coming out in February. And I think that they would put both of those on hold and release a remake first to try to win back the fans. I think this will come out first. I believe that. I believe that the remake will come out first and AC Shadows will not come out in February.
Yeah, I think AC Shadows gets delayed again.
Yeah.
I think this comes out to soften the blow of AC Shadows. I think this will win people back a little bit because people wanted the Black Flag. Yep. Skull and Bones didn't do very well.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, so
you're trying to be nice. Just call it like it is, bro. Just call it like it is.
Yeah, I think they'll bring this out before they bring out AC Shadows for sure.
And that's if the company still stands on its own 2 feet by then.
Well, and here's another question I have for chat. Does AC Black Flag come back out? Are you guys excited, and will you guys play this, or do you even care? You know, that's the question. Do you guys even care if Black Flag comes out at this point, or are you just kind of like over it and be like, nah, I'm good with Ubisoft? Greg Owen, who we interviewed on the show a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, I guess now, he just did a video on Ubisoft about all the games from Pandora to
I didn't watch it all. It got buried in my watch list. I got to go back and watch it.
It's a good video. It's like 50 minutes long. It's a good video.
Good video.
So I got to reach back out to him because he wants to come back on the show. So we got to reach out to him again and set up a time. But yeah, it's a good video. Go watch that from Greg Owen. So yeah, chat. What do you think? Salty says he's over it. Travis says meh. World says meh. Right. I don't think there's going to be a big sell for this, but I do think this is the pillow before the gun. You know what I mean? This is to kind of silent the blow of AC Shadows, right? This is Black Flag.
The real reason for a remake is because there was a group of people that weren't around when it came out. That's why a remake is supposed to be like 5 to 8 years down the road, and then you remake it again with better graphics.
2013.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what it's for. It's for the kids that didn't know what it was because they were in the age bracket that was before that time. And now they're in the time where they're paying attention to games like we paid attention to games. And so you remake a game that's really good and you bring it back out again. Right? That makes sense. But let's not forget, we talked about this now. What did I tell you what did I say to you? What was going to happen over the next couple of years? A massive influx of remakes and remasters.
Yeah, well, that's been happening.
Massive.
For like about 2 years now.
Massive. But they have nothing else going on. They have to get the money moving.
He says, bundle it with AC Shadows. Give the fans the thing they want with a problem. There you go.
Krebsy, I don't think for a moment that's not on the table, right? They release Black Flag remake, and with it you get AC Shadows. That's not far fetched at all. Not at all. All right. That sounds very, very plausible.
The next story we're going to talk about, Sarge, is most players prefer single-player games, a new study claims.
Oh, bite me.
Right?
Bite me.
So I don't know if we did this. I don't think we did because we were off net last week, right? So it says for the last few years, video game industry has seemed obsessed with building always online live service multiplayer experiences, and many of those live service games like Concord have failed to find much success. Now, the new survey reveals that might be because most folks prefer playing single player games. Now, here's what I've noticed: a lot of people like actually playing like games like a Forza Horizon or a Fallout 76, where they're like multiplayer game, where it's like it's not an MMO, but it's a shit ton of people playing, but they're all playing solo. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't play with anybody. They're playing on a game, but they're playing solo in those multiplayer games, right? So I wonder if they're taking that into account. So let me continue reading. Hold on.
But does it matter though?
No. As a report from GameIndustries.biz, a new survey from Media Research suggests that 53% of people who play video games prefer playing by themselves and don't want to play online PvP or co-op modes, according to the survey. In 2023 and 2024, the survey asked a range of players from the U.S., Australia, and the UK, Canada, France, Germany, Poland, Brazil, South Africa, and Turkey about their various video game preferences. And yeah, it turns out that most people like playing single-player games. However, digging into the data reveals some more interesting findings, right? So it says, for example,
people want to time out. That's why.
It seems that the older you are, the more likely you are to avoid online games and stick to the single-player adventures. 74% of gamers over the age of 55 were prefer to play single-player games over co-op or online PvP, in fact. The younger you are, the more likely you are that you want to play with other people. Only 30% of players under the age of 19 prefer playing solo, right? So there you go. So the older you get, the more curmudgeon you get, and you're like, get off my lawn. I just want to play by myself.
It's not curmudgeon. That demographic of people who has grown up over time with video games grew up during single player.
I mean, look,
that demographic totally grew up during single player. Yeah, multiplayer was going on when they were still playing games. Yes, however, from the time they started playing video games up until now, aka Moa, okay, yeah. I've seen everything. I have seen everything there has to been. Everything.
Yeah. So yeah, I mostly play games that are single player, and when I do play co-op with people, most of the time I'm playing solo anyway, because it just there. Here's the thing: we tried to play. We didn't talk about this. We tried to play Starship Troopers.
I wanted to play it.
Right? We tried to play. We played for about 45 minutes, and he crashed. Aggravated. I crashed. I crashed again. We could not get in a group together. We couldn't get into a game together. I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I started playing by myself, okay, in the solo player mode because I couldn't get into the game. I was so frustrated with it.
Yeah, but it's not that you crash. It's that it doesn't remember any of the experience when you
lose
crash.
It all. Right.
So I'm playing for like an hour, and I'm still level 2. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. So last night, after we played, you're like, you want to play something? I'm like, nah, not really. I just turned on. I was like, let me see to play it. I turned it on. I hit start. I start the game. It goes through the load screen. It goes, oh, welcome to Valaka, whatever. As soon as it comes in, it goes out to the dashboard. I went, fuck this game. Fuck you.
I uninstalled it.
Fuck you up the ass so hard. I deleted it. I deleted out the thing.
Off my hard drive. Like, I'm not messing around anymore. I'm not messing around.
They gave me a code to play it. I purchased it on PC last year in alpha. They gave me a code. I gave you the code, right? So we could play it on stream together. It's unfucking playable, okay? Unplayable.
And I don't fuck around anymore. If your game doesn't work, you're out. Yeah. You're just out. You're out.
It's so frustrating.
You know what else I took off the hard drive?
What's that?
I know. This is how you know I had a wild hair at my ass. I went through my entire list of games, and I'm like, all right, something's got to go. It's got to go, right? I took off Starfield. I took off Division 2, right? I just got rid of it. I'm like, you're out.
No, I guess that's
you're out.
There goes our clan. We're done.
You're out. Well, I didn't have the clan anymore anyway.
Well, that's true.
I'm like, you're out.
We'll start a new clan, then we'll lose that one too.
I'm like, you're out. Like, I would like to play games that are fun multiplayer. That's it. Not asking for a lot, right? Like, State of Decay 2, I'd like to play. If it's stable again, I would like to play it. Because I like playing multiplayer zombie survival game where you don't know if you can live or not because you have to find the garbage. It's not automatically you're going to win. You got to find the stuff in order to live. Sometimes you'll play for 2 hours and then die.
Right.
Sometimes you play for 6 hours and your best guy that you have, you lose and he's dead forever. Right? Yeah.
I mean,
I'll enjoy those kind of games.
The problem I have with just games not working, like online, and they just don't work. Like, and here's the thing, right? You saying you deleted Division 3 or 2? I said 3 because Salty said 3. I might just delete it now because I'm okay. I have plenty of time in there, right? I have plenty of time, and they were going to ruin it anyway because they were going their new route where they're, a new season every time. Even though they're stepping back from that and they haven't said a fucking word since they apologized.
Their office is on fire. They're not worried about a game that's been out for 7 years. You know what I mean? Like, they're not even paying attention to Division 2 right now. Their building is on fire, and there's people pissing on it, trying to put the fire out. Like, it ain't gonna work, bro. We're not worried about Division 2.
I've enjoyed my time. I got my money's worth out of it. If I never play a Division game again, cool. It is what it is. All right, so what do you think about the as far as the survey? Do you think that I know you said that the people that are older are not curmudgeon, but at the same time, I think just like you said, the older we are, our patience are just like we just want to gain that fucking, like, you pay your money, you want it to work, and to stop more problems is online, multiplayer, co-op, PvP. You get rid of all that and you just play single player. You're like, it's got to work.
I played all the PvP shit, bro. I've been playing PvP shit since before they knew what the fucking abbreviations for PvP were.
No, I get it.
I played PvP Ultimate Online. I played PvP in EverQuest. I played PvP in
every
World of Warcraft.
Every first person shooter
all the way up to
like
Wrath of the Lich King, right? I played PvP in the original Call of Duty. I played PvP SOCOM. All right. I played PvP in everything worth playing in the entire career of video games. I don't play fucking Fortnite. I'm not into that shit. I don't care. I don't care about the pretty colored characters floating around on things, shooting their bubble guns around. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Right? I've played plenty of hardcore PvP games. Destiny. I played the shit out of PvP with Destiny. I had a killer Titan build. Used to piss people off all the time. Rage quitting in the corner of the screen. Right? When you used to do the charge dash run around. The charge dash run around, man.
Getting the messages afterwards.
Oh my God, the messages.
The messages afterwards. Those are the greatest.
Love it. Yeah. Love it. Right?
Chat, what about you guys?
I just don't care anymore.
Where do you guys stand? Do you guys more into the single player? Are you guys into the more co-op? Are you guys into more PvP online experience? Where do you guys all stand? Yeah, Sarge, #, been there, done that.
I'm not trying to be the old guy. I'm just saying, yes, I'll be completely honest with you. If I play an intensive PvP game where there's a lot of buttons going on, I'm not afraid to admit it. My hand-eye coordination isn't the same it was when I was 25, kids, right? I still got a quick thumb and quick hands. Even my brother's fascinated by the fact how fast I can push buttons on a controller during fighting games and whatnot. But there's just certain, it's not the same. Just the response there. But I will say this. Take the same age person as me, but put a controller in his hand who's never played video games before, I'll destroy them because their hand-eye isn't good. Like, I have good hand-eye coordination. I've been playing video games since I was 4. Like, come on, people.
Here's the thing. I went to the Science Center 2 weeks ago, right? And they had a Guinness Book of World Records exhibit, and they had this game where you had a button, and you had to press the button as fast as you could in a certain amount of time, right? And I think the record was like 680 button presses in like...
Yeah, that's if the button's working properly.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
in 30 seconds. So I sat there and I went, both my wife and my son were like, "Oh, Dad's gonna be good at this," and they wanted me to sit there like, "Can you do this?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I just sat there, and then I went 592. I was like, "Oh, I could do better." I wanted to sit there, but there's like a line forming behind me, and right. I was like, "Oh, I could do it." Then I wanted to do the two finger method, and then I was doing the stutter on the edge of the thing. I was like, my hand at the end of this, I was like this. I was like, it was like shaking. I was like, ah, man, if I was,
All right,
if it was in my prime,
I'm gonna
I would get
age
this-
out. I'm gonna age out some people. All right, and I'm only gonna say part of the statement, and those of you who are old enough will fill in the blank. You ready? Okay. So in the arcade, there was a game called Track and Field.
Oh.
All right, and it was all buttons, no joystick. Remember this one, all buttons. Now, kids learned that if you used a special item, you could hit the buttons faster. And then the arcade put rims around the buttons
so you could use it.
Could use the special item.
Yep.
What was the special item, guys?
It's a pencil.
Shut up. I'm talking to chat. I'm not talking to you. You were there. What's the matter with you?
What else would it be? It's not going to be a fucking straw.
I'm talking to chat, man. Did I say your name? I'm talking to chat. Jesus Christ.
Chat, they can't hear anyway. They're deaf from the opening. Yeah, I'm not that old. There you go.
Think about how ridiculous it is that kids used to use a pencil in order to beat the records in track and field. Now remember, this is just an arcade game, right? So the arcade guys put rims around the buttons so you couldn't do the pencil move. Why? Why would you need to put rims around the button? We're too good. Like, what are you trying to? Why?
They put hard rims so you couldn't
rims around the button so you couldn't flutter. Hilarious.
Let me tell you this,
Hilarious.
Chat, Sarge was so fast when track and field came to the Nintendo and you played. Okay, this is before the Super Max,
the Max.
NES Max controller. Okay, Sarge's fingers are so fast that I had to use to compete with him at a younger age. I had to plug in the Max controller and put turbo on just to hold the button so I could hit the thing as fast as him, and he still was faster than the Max controller. That's how fast he was with the button pushing. I think you still have the record with the javelin throw and the way you did it and the triple jump.
Oh, crazy records. Yeah, if you could hit it, the whole point though was you could hit the buttons quick, but you had to know the problem with the NES controller is you had to be able to go from hitting the buttons as quick as you can to pressing up on the D-pad over here while I was doing this. So like it gets real difficult to do this and go and throw your finger out there and like
it's like Dragon Ball Z powering up. It's like
yeah. You're basically you're thumbing the controller, then all of a sudden you have to throw your finger out to hit the D-pad. It's hilarious.
Someone should make an animated show, like a short of playing track and field, and they do all the Dragon Ball Z effects. Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'll real simple. I'll turn. So the game only had buttons. Track and field only had buttons. So you got to rotate between the two buttons in order to run, right? So you were doing this on the control, and people were slamming the machine with their hands, right? People will learn just to flutter the controller like this, but the easiest way is to put your finger with a pencil like this, and you hold it down on one button, and then you would you would flutter the other side.
Yeah,
you would do like a teeter-totter, and so you would go as fast as you possibly could. That's all it was. We were using pencils.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Speaking of things, let's talk about Concord, Sarge. Concord.
Why?
Well,
wait. Listen, it's been 2 weeks, right?
Well, it's been a month.
Is everybody in chat? Is everybody in chat on the same page with us, where we know Concord's coming back? Right? Is everybody on the same page with that? Because if you believe that they're going to throw away $400 million into the toilet, you are sadly mistaken.
Well, you got to remember, they didn't spend $400 million. Sony only spent about $200 million. So they could spend another $200 million to make it $400, which would be $600 for Concord total for Concord, the game, but not for Sony. I think Sony's going to toss another $150 out at minimum to try to get this. But my question to you, Sarge, as I said earlier this week, no matter what they do, if it comes back out as free to play and they change all the characters to like hot supermodel characters, men and women alike, right? Like, just pretend the first Descendant characters are now in Concord. Is that going to make Concord successful now? No, because now people will be like, fuck you, you're pandering to us because you fucked up on the characters. Now you're making them good looking. No, we're not going to play the game, right? That's going to backfire in their face, right? Free to play, like, fuck you. You made it $40. Now you're making it free to play because it didn't work for you. That's going to backfire on them. So what do they have to do to make sure that Concord comes out and it's different than what it was when it was $40 with ugly characters?
The main topic is this, and this should be very apparent, right? Everybody is, and I mean this, every company is trying to make every game live service. Everybody, okay? Even though there are a shit ton of people who play video games, there are not enough people to play consistent online live service games for all these fucking companies.
Yeah, there's
and
so many games.
They're finally understanding this, that they can't spend this kind of money trying to chase a dragon that may or may not succeed, right? Beforehand, once again, guys, say it with me. Guys, say it with me. Make a game, sell a game. When you make a game, good, bad, or indifferent, the game comes out, you make your money, the game falls off, everyone walks away. We're all good. We're all good. Yep. Now, everybody's got to be in the game all the time. Microtransactions and battle passes and all kinds of shit, right? Nobody cares, right? I could give two shits about this game. Don't care, right? They got to learn from their own mistakes, which they don't, right? Chasing this dragon of live service is going to bury them, right? Bury them.
Yeah.
Right? If this means that the names that we grew up with go away and a new crop of people from the AA industry rise up with their good games and get to be the top of the heap, then so be it.
Well, this is a new company. This is their first game that would come out, but yeah, I don't think they could do anything about this game. They would have to fundamentally change. They can fundamentally change the whole structure of the game, which is going to take a lot more than 6 months, right? Or a lot more than just coming out and putting new
I guarantee you right now, the guys from Concord have called up Epic. I guarantee you the guys from Concord have called the guys who run Epic and go, can you guys help us?
Yeah, you make a battle royale.
You guys did the most incredible 180-degree turn for a game ever to be the most popular game ever. Can you help us turn it around?
What if, because David Jaffe a couple of weeks ago said that, and I think someone said it in his channel, and he said it, and then someone in my channel said that he said it. Whoever said it, okay, I'll give David Jaffe the credit, but I don't think he said it. He said, what about if they make it a hero shooter, but with the characters all from the different IPs of Sony and bring it into that game?
Possible.
Right?
Possible.
I can see if they do something like that.
But you want to know why they won't do that?
Because it makes sense?
No. See, the part that the variable that you're missing is if they change the characters, then what they're saying is that we were right.
Oh, absolutely.
And
that
you're,
I said that earlier.
Wrong about making these woke characters.
Correct.
They can't admit. They cannot.
No, if they
cannot
change the characters,
that.
yeah, if they change
cannot
the characters,
admit
it's an admission of that you were right, we were wrong, and even then we won't buy it.
What you're saying is correct though. That would possibly save it, but they can't do it because it outs them because of it.
Right, and you don't want to do that.
They won't do that.
Yeah. So, I don't know where they go from this, but if they make it like a hero shooter and you could play Kratos and the Last of Us characters and Ghost of Tsushima and all the different characters and play in that game, perhaps that at least gets the Sony crowd to come in and play.
Well, at this point, you're just saying we don't want to lose 200 million. We only want to lose 100 million. That's right. Basically what you're saying.
How much money can we make?
How much money can we? Right. So we don't.
Right.
That's basically what you're doing. You're gonna basically what you're gonna do is you're trying to get as much money back as possible, and you're gonna write the rest off.
Right. All right. Well, the next one says "Hold my beer," right? Because
literally says "Hold my beer."
Well, no, it's Black Myth Wukong developer reportedly exceeds $1 billion in revenue on Steam, just Steam alone. Okay. It says Game Science ranks 12th in total publisher revenue on Steam, matching Rockstar Games and 2K. Black Myth Wukong has sold over 20 million copies since launch, with the Steam version alone generating $1 billion for game science. And then there's further growth expected for the fans wait for the DLC in 2025. So here's a game. They made a game and they sold the game, right?
Yeah.
They didn't try to pander to anybody. They
Nope.
didn't try to do anything. All the reports from all these different outlets trying to make some drama out of this because the monkey doesn't have enough diversity in the game, right?
Yep.
And here we are. It's been out a month, sold $1 billion, okay, of revenue, and now everyone and their mother's like, we gotta make a game like this. We gotta make a game like this, right? Like, now I will say this: we just watched the Xbox preview thing earlier today, and there's a couple more Souls-like games, and I understand it's not a Souls-like game, but a lot of these games that are coming out are like this, where it's and they're all coming out at the same time.
Yes,
and I get that this one succeeded. But there's going to be a lot of games that come out that don't succeed at the level that this is succeeding, right? This is an outlier compared to the other ones that are coming out that are similar to it. Some of them look interesting. I saw this in a store 2 weeks ago. I went into the mall. I went to a Razer, not a Razer shop, but a Razer keyboard computer shop, but a store.
You get those confused?
Yeah. No, I'm just letting you know it's a Razer store, and people will be like, "Razer store? I don't shave." So when I walked in, I didn't know what the game was because I don't play it. The camera was panning around, and I walked past the screen. And I was like, I went like this. I went, and I looked at it. I was like, "What game is that?" And all of a sudden, a kid picked up the controller and started moving it around. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Black Myth." I was like, "Holy Christ, that looks amazing!" It was on a laptop computer. And just the eye-popping visuals and stuff like that. I was like, holy Christ. I was like, I want this game. I don't even play these types of games. I was like, I want to own that, right? I haven't bought it yet. But I was just blown away by the visuals of it, right? Here you are, 1 month later.
That's part of the equation.
Sure. But
visuals,
the actual gameplay, the visuals, the
gameplay,
smooth.
time period.
Yeah.
Game mechanics.
So look, I'm excited about like games like this. Space Marines 2 sold 4.5 million. I disagree with Space Marines business model, but I'm happy that the 40K.
I'm happy that Space Marine did well, which means we'll get more 40K games. See, They keep trying to do 40K games. We've talked about this in the past. They keep trying to do 40K games, but they just don't do them justice. Like that entire series, Dark Tide, Vermintide, that whole 4-player thing, it's decent. It just doesn't grab you. They keep making them, which means they do decent enough to where they can make a sequel. Same type of game, right? Now, Total War Warhammer 3, amazing. That's why we're on Total War Warhammer 3, right? Because the first one was amazing. The second one's even better, right? Now, if you can make a 40K game like that, right? Here's even one better for you, bro. Real simple, right? I don't want to cause problems, right? 40K Battlefield, right? Not hard.
Yeah.
40K. Now, hear me out. 40K Battlefield. Now, watch this. Ready? You don't have to worry about picking teams because you can release an entire race every 6 months. All Eldar, all Imperial Guard, all Chaos, right? Battlefield, Warhammer. Can you hear the cash falling? I can.
Yeah, I can.
I can.
Will they do it though?
What?
Probably
all
not.
the ones that make sense. They always get their soapbox out and go, licensing, can't get people to agree on a right. Like you guys can't agree on making money. I get it, right? You want to keep tightening the noose around this corporate nonsense instead of just making a fun game that people want to play. And every time they make a fun game that people want to play, they got a list of reporters trying to shit on it. Like,
yeah.
The game sold 4.2 million copies. It's like one of the highest selling games made by fucking Warhammer type developers.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up. Let them win.
It's the best Warhammer game created.
Let them win.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine playing Warhammer 40K and getting into like a giant Land Raider. Like huge. It's not like a normal tank. Just huge tank. And imagine, just for a moment, bro, that just like you did in Battlefield 1, where you got the giant blimp, right? How about in Battlefield Warhammer, you got a giant Titan that comes out. Oh shit. Giant Titan comes walking out onto the thing. Like, now you got to knock out the fucking Titan. Yeah. Sign me up for that game. Sign me up as the tester. Sign me up as the day one guy. Sign me up, right? But let's keep fucking around. Let's keep making the same fucking game 17 times over that no one wants to play. That sounds amazing.
Salty says, G.I. Joe Battlefield, Transformers Battlefield, 40K Battlefield. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah. One a year. One a year.
Yeah.
You want to sell games? Yeah. I want to sell games.
They would sell. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, Sarge, I don't know if you heard about this. I don't know if you heard about this, but Destiny.
Simple stuff, Salty. Simple.
Destiny.
Keep it simple.
I'm not gonna put the music on, but NetEase, okay, as it says, Destiny Rising developer. Okay, NetEase is making a Destiny game called Destiny Rising. It's going to be a mobile game, Sarge. Okay, a mobile game where it sounds like the way they're describing it. In my opinion, it sounds like it's a First Descendant Warhammer, Warframe type of game where you're not making a character and then using that character. You're using predetermined characters. Like you can use Ikora, you can use other characters in the thing. This takes place on a separate timeline. It's like a different multiverse or whatever. So it's before the Great Fall or whatever in Destiny. And
before they collapse.
Yeah, before the collapse. It's during the Iron Lords and stuff like that. So you'll be using characters you've never seen before, but you'll also be using characters that you know, okay? And I feel, again, I don't know, that it's going to be like a First Descendant where you unlock characters as you play, because it's a mobile game, right? So they're going to have to microtransaction somehow in some way. Now, Bungie has nothing to do with this. Zero. Nada. Okay? This is 100% NetEase taking the brand, the IP, and everything about Destiny and putting it on the mobile device. Okay, do you think, obviously I know it's on mobile, okay, but do you think this is going to be a huge success for Bungie, NetEase, Sony, or do you think it's going to come out, it's going to be popular, and then it's going to fade really fast?
All right, I got a question. Is this the game that NetEase gave Bungie all that money for earlier before to make a phone game?
The $100 million? Yeah, this is. All
right, so how is this not related to Bungie at all? How do you say that?
Bungie has nothing to do with it. No developers worked on this in any way, shape, or form. This is just
so. What,
NetEase.
they gave $100 million just for the licensing?
I guess. Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. Number one, but we'll just say yes for now. Okay. Now, I think the next question is going to be, what market are you talking about? Are you talking about the Asian market? Are you talking about the Western market? What market are you talking about?
Well, they're just talking about the mobile market, just in general,
okay,
right?
So,
and obviously, when you talk about the mobile market, the Japan, China, and stuff, they're huge. Korea, they're big on
I
mobile
believe this game will do absolutely amazing because there's a giant demographic of kids on their cell phones who know about Destiny or know of it. Okay, and now this goes into the hands of billions of people. Do I think Destiny is going to do well on a phone for everybody? No. But is there a demographic of people that are going to want to play Destiny and they can on their phone? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it is weird, Dupless, that they are only doing the beta. You can sign up beginning of November. You can sign up right now for pre-registration. I did. I don't know if I'll get in, but they're only doing a beta in the US and the UK, which is weird, right? I think they want to see they already know the interest of the Korea, China, Japan, right? That's already, they're like, who's interested in the UK? Who's interested in the US? Is why I think they're doing what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be, look, regardless, I think it'll be a hit. But my thing is, does it have longevity? Is it going to be here for 3, 4, 5 years? Or is it going to be here for 8, 12 months and then it's going to die off? Because there are mobile games that come out and they do really well for the first couple of months and then they just completely peak off, right? I don't know.
Well, it depends.
Let me tell you something.
It depends on the structure of the game.
It does look, obviously it's a trailer and it looks great, right? It does look good. It looks like Destiny. Okay. Does this, here's the big problem I have, or I think they'll have, not I have. even though I'm a 46-year-old, I don't like playing on mobile devices. Okay, like I don't want to play on a mobile device for my main game. If I could do the emulator, I'll try it and give it a shot to see what it is. Okay, but I just don't see the people that love Destiny, that have been playing Destiny for the last 10 years. Like, think about this. If you were 18, you're now 28. If you were 28, now you're 38, right? If you're 38, you're 48, okay? I started playing this when I was 36, okay? And now I'm 46. I'm not playing on mobile. So a lot of people that were playing Destiny are going to move on. They're like, I'm not going to play this game because it's on mobile, right? This is the whole same thing of why people didn't want to play Diablo. I get it.
People.
But this is why a lot of people didn't want to play Diablo on mobile.
The older people.
Correct. That's what I'm talking about. The older people that have been playing this game for the longest time, I don't think are coming. So they're looking for this new blood. They're looking for this younger group of people coming up to try to play this game. I just think it's going to be a hard sell for the people that have been playing Destiny, because they're going to force themselves to play on a mobile device. These are the people that have jobs, full-time jobs, that bought 65, 75, 85-inch television sets with they're going out to buy the PlayStation 5 Pro, right? They got Mac Daddy PCs so they can play the game, and yet it's coming on a cell phone, right? And I just don't see these guys.
I'll be honest with you,
from what I heard, from
what I heard about this game and watched on that video, this has got more playability than the actual Destiny game has. It's almost like it's better than Destiny.
Yeah.
So you're going to pull people away from Destiny to play Destiny over here? Because that's what it sounds like. Right? And won't there be a port to PC? Won't there be some kind of port eventually? And if there's a port of that game, then that basically destroys Destiny, the original.
Right.
Because this has more playability to it.
They split the player base because it's mobile. I mean, Krebsy brought it up a couple days ago. He said that Diablo did this, but it's on mobile and they made Diablo 4, right? And it's the same company that made it. This is a separate company. This is not Bungie making this. So it is kind of weird, but it is what it is. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm interested in the beginning of November to see how people take to it and see how it is, and if they like it and if they love it. Because if you love it, you gotta dedicate yourself to be playing on mobile, right? Maybe there's actual Destiny 3 plan. Maybe this is to hold you off until Destiny 3, right? Who knows? Real quick, Dark Taco, thank you very much for becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. I don't have a cheer or anything. Woo! Thank you very much. Appreciate the membership. Yeah, then with NetEase, you better love those microtransactions. That's right. You gotta love them. Okay. Let's talk about. Well, speaking of Diablo, this is a quick one. Okay. Now, obviously, this is a bug, Sarge. Okay, this is a bug. Okay, but where is it? Diablo 4. There it is. Okay, so Diablo 4 player lands a 235 trillion damage hit with its new class and the pile of overpowered bugs keeping it at the top of the meta. Now they know it's a bug in the game, right? Dark Microtransaction. I was watching him a couple days ago, and he was talking about how he was hitting for 1 billion. And he was like, oh, wow, this is really good. But then other people were hitting for trillions. And then this guy's hitting for 235 trillion.
I love that shit, dude. I love guys who game to game and figure out the bugs and what does what. When you're dealing with that many variables of numbers with that much gear and the nonsense that's inside that gear, you paid attention to the Diablo gear, right? The gear is ridiculous with all the variables, all the small percentages of this and that. So eventually some kind of algebraic or trigonometry equation is going to break and it causes this. And I love it. I don't care.
Yeah, this is the new class. This is the new Spiritborn class that came out, right? So let me read this a little bit here. It says, best class by far, you mean by trillions of damage better than the rusty old classes from the distant past of 2023, the distant past of just a year ago. Okay. Spiritborn was so powerful that the next patch, Blizzard is going to show damage numbers to clean up the screen during the combat. It's not, however, going to fix any of the egregious bugs that are keeping almost every Spiritborn build at the top of the meta. Now here, look, I don't care what anyone says. You'll never convince me otherwise. This is planned from the start to make stuff like this super OP because the small say the loudest on their social media, goes out and people are like, what? You can make this build? And then everyone goes and plays this game and gets the build, and it gets to a certain point, and they're like, oh, nerf, right? And then they cut it out. This is 100% by the book, okay? Happens all the time. There's no way in hell you can convince me, oh, no, they didn't know this was going to happen. They knew exactly. Why do you think it's happening with the new Spiritborn? You're telling me, and this is a hard convince, right? That which could be possible, Sarge. Either they don't know what they're doing, okay, and they didn't test their stuff, or they did test it and they said, nah, let it be. This'll be great for the game to get people to talk about it, to get people to come and play, to try to go for this build, to get these certain items, to play a little bit, spend maybe a little extra money in there, okay? There's no way in hell this is not planned, okay? And I can't be convinced otherwise. I'm like those guys on the campuses, right? This is planned, change my mind, okay? You're never going to change my mind because this, to me, is planned from the very start, okay?
That's just the way it is. So gamers are going to game, man. Gamers are going to game.
Of course.
There's always going to be somebody. Listen, when I originally played Elder Scrolls Online originally, and I was part of that clan for a little while, right? I thought one of the greatest moves those guys did, there were two guys in there who were tanks that they spec'd out their character where their evade and their damage absorption was ridiculous, but they didn't do a lot of damage. But they were there on purpose when we went into Cyrodiil for raiding, right? They would force themselves forward and act like they would aggro the other people, and they would have people go after them on purpose because they couldn't be killed, which allows your damage dealers to focus down on the guys who are focusing on them, right? Because it's always like a little bit of a rock, paper, scissors thing anyway, right? That's why healers don't usually dress as healers. They dress as like in between like a druid or rogues type of thing, so they don't look like they're a healer, so people don't target them immediately because you go for healers first, right? So you'll notice in like when you do raiding events and stuff, people don't dress as the healer and don't cast like all the nuke spells as a healer. They use the subtle ones, so you can't identify them right away, right? That's the whole point. And so I used to love battling stuff like that because you got guys running around. You ever stand back and like watch a battle when they take over like a castle or something to see how it works?
If you don't know what you're looking at, right? If you don't know what you're looking at, you're completely lost.
Right. If you don't know what you're looking for,
what you're looking at, you're like, this is beautiful.
Right. You know exactly what's going on in the game. 100%. Otherwise, it looks like a giant mess. Like you'll see a guy just running around and there's just a train of people on top of him trying to kill him. I'm like, why is everybody on that guy? Like it's just a giant pile following this guy around, and he's laughing because they can't kill him.
Yeah.
Laughing.
And then everybody wants to know what that build is, right? Everybody wants to know what that build is.
Everyone's saving screens, opening up his character slot, like checking out his gear. Quick screen save that shit. How is he living? Like that guy's got 12 guys on him. How is he not dead? Laughing.
Oh,
you see the chat. He's just laughing.
We forgot to check in. We forgot to check in if Pete Parsons is still at Bungie, Sarge.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he is.
I gotta find the.
What did he get? What did he get this week? It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you got new cars.
Let me see.
Yeah,
let's see if Pete Parson is Pete Parson at Bungie. Yes, he is. Okay. This week it looks like he got.
Identify. I'm on identify. Oh, the Tron bike number 1.
Yeah,
for sure.
Let's see if Chat can get the second one.
The Tron bike number 1
Can you find the cars?
I lost track of what he had. So it's not the hot dog.
Can you find Pete Carson's cars this week? This is like a game it should have for like Where's Waldo.
Oh, I got it. I know which one it is. I got it. Yeah.
Magic Dolphin says Cheech and Chong car. Nope.
No, that's
nope.
No.
And that's not Cheech and Chong's car. That's Dumb and Dumber. Yeah. DTM
I know
says, is it the Vespa? Tempest says it's the golf cart.
Yeah.
It's sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. No, I'll give you guys a hint. Yeah. That's all you need.
Which, if you didn't know, no, not the banana. Banana car was there. Nope, it's not Herbie.
Yeah. Come on, Magic.
Dolphin says the
you
DeLorean.
You didn't get it from Yeehaw? Come on, man.
Yeah. Needs more hot dog car. Dukes of Hazzard. Ding,
Yes.
ding, ding. There it is. All right. Now,
He was in an auction. He was in an auction for a long time of that one.
there's two General Lees on the screen. Okay? There's two General Lees. There's the Dukes of Hazzard car, and there's the Dukes of Hazzard big wheel.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that Pete Parson checking in, still buying cars. We only got 2 this week. Must have been a slow week.
Still there. Right? We're getting close to the holidays, man. Do you think he's gonna step down? No, right? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Tune in next week to find out if Pete Carson is still at Bungie. All right.
It's Parson though, right? Not Carson.
No, it's Parson.
But
Yeah,
you're
we
saying
call him,
okay.
yeah,
You're
we
saying
say
Carson.
Carson. Yeah, Pete Carson. Yeah. Let's go with some Halo news here, Sarge. Okay, there's
Oh,
a
this is
couple
the best.
stories.
This is the best. You're talking about them announcing they want help. You mean that one? That's my favorite.
It's not really announcing they want help. They're
Yes, it
announcing
is.
that they changed. Well,
yes,
yeah,
no. Yes, it is.
They're changing engines. Okay, they're changing engines. So Halo is moving to Unreal Engine 5. Okay, and while they moved to Unreal Engine 5, they did a little video to promote that they're changing. They changed the studio name to Halo Studios. So now there's no like, hey, where are you working? I work at 343. Oh, what are you guys doing over there? You still working on Halo? They changed the studio.
The name 343 is so tainted. They had to change the name of the studio. That's number one red flag. Go ahead.
Right. So they changed 343 to Halo Studios. So that way that people know, hey, what are you working on? We're working on Halo, because you're never going to see Halo Studios is working on Fable 5 or Forza Horizon 6 or working on whatever, right? They're working on Halo games. So they put this video out saying, hey, they're working on Halo stuff. And if you like Halo, which I do think is smart, by the way, right? 'Cause I said this months and months and months ago. I was like, reach out to people and say, hey, what would you like to work on, Sarge? You've been in the industry for a couple years. What would you like to? What is your favorite IP? And you'd be like, I like Fable. And you're like, great. We're gonna move you over to Fable since we own them, right? And we're gonna make you move there. So the people that are passionate about what the game it is, right? So Halo now is Halo Studios, and the people working at Halo Studios, you would hope, fingers crossed, chat, okay, that they're passionate about Halo. Okay. Now again, video game companies will be video game companies because they already announced they're working on like 5 different Halo games, okay, in the future. Okay, that's just to tell the guys that, hey, you'll have stable work if you come and work for us, even though they work on 18 months contractual stuff. Okay, but they can work on multiple games there. Okay, for the Halo series. On top of this, with the Unreal Engine, there was talks about on the Slipspace engine before they moved over to this. They were working on a battle royale game as well. Okay, they were working on a battle royale game. Now my question,
still chasing. Go ahead.
Right. So my question is, with all of this happening for Halo, right? The new engine, the new studio, and potentially still in the future, maybe one of the 5 games is the battle royale, even though they canceled it on the old thing. Okay. Do you think this is good for Halo? Do you think it'll rebound what Halo is? Because let's be honest, I said it earlier today. You can't always have this, Sarge. You can't always go up.
But that's how they function.
That's what they want. But Halo IP, Transformers, G.I. Joe, whatever it is, it's never always going to do this. It's going to have its ups and downs. People are going to like certain times and not like certain times. Do we think with the Unreal Engine, do we think they get back to the point of focusing on Halo and making Halo again?
The way I look at Halo is like this. They basically milked it to the point where they didn't care about it because they thought the name was going to carry them regardless. Then they realized
they said it. They said it doesn't
then
matter.
They realized that there's so many games out there competing now that they can't just piss away on Halo and just do whatever they want and thinking that the name is going to stick. The name is going to hold them up the entire time. So after 3 failures, they decided that we're going to change everything. When you say change everything, that means basically fire the original crew, change studios.
Yeah, the
right?
upper management.
So now you have an entirely great. So the way I look at it, they don't have anything to fall back on or anything to compete with. So they're basically going to take their old IP and try to upgrade it under new management and new developers to give it a fresh coat of paint, something that pops and is for the younger kids again, is what they want to do. except that it's been played out and buried, right? New engine, new people, fresh start, and you're even going to name the studio after it. We want to make sure everyone knows that we're concentrating very much on Halo. And everybody else is going to go, oh, I get it.
Right.
You're going to work on Halo. I got it. Right? So now you're supposed to believe after 3 failures where you thought they cared and you know they didn't care, now we're supposed to believe fresh coat of paint on the turd and everything's going to be fine. Well, the rules are very simple. Once you piss away the IP that built your company and you don't care about it anymore, and now you realize that you can't even go into the bucket of ideas and make something new, you have to rehash something old. So all I have to say is bring on your next rendition and let's see if the market will listen to you. Period. Is your game going to be good? I'll rephrase it. Do you care enough to make the game good? Because you didn't care about the last 3 when you said you did. Now you want me to believe that you care now. So all I can say is show me. That's all I can say. Show me what you got, and we'll see if the market allows you to live in this current economic gaming universe where every game lives or dies by minutes. By minutes, we live and die. Let's see.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find the new.
You could be a Space Marine 2, or you could be a Concorde. There's not even an in between anymore. So let's see.
Look at the new logo.
What's the new logo?
The new logo looks horrendous.
The top one? Tell me it's not the top one, is it?
It's the top one, yeah.
Why?
Yeah. It looks so bad.
Well, because they don't want to resemble anything from the past. Let's use Kylo Ren's line. Forget the past. Kill it if you have to. Like, so sentimental.
Yeah.
So sentimental.
What-
The top one looks like you just got lazy and graffiti. That's the top one.
Yeah, no, it just looks awful, I think. Anyway. Like the bottom one looks so much better. But anyway, as far as the Battle Royale, Sarge, the more I thought about it, right? Kingard said that he would like a Battle Royale for it. You think it would be a perfect game mode for it, right? So much so that people already made the Battle Royale inside of the Forge mode right now, inside of Halo Infinite.
Then
right?
why have to make a version if you can make it in Forge?
Well, my question is, should Battle Royale be in a Halo, or should Battle Royale be a separate game from Halo?
When you're saying to me you're trying to use a game mode in order to save a franchise, that's not gamers talking. That's suits talking about what they think gamers want. That's the problem. BR does not fit into every fucking hole or every game there is because it's something cool that gamers want. It fits in specific types of games, right? Battlefield 5 had BR. Did anyone give a shit? No.
No. Fallout
right?
76 had Battle Royale.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter. It has to fit what it has to fit. Gamers will decide, but they talk about it as if it's some type of variable that they can control. Like, well, we got BR, it must work. Like, that's not how you feel about it. That's not how a gamer introduces a game mode into a game. That's not how it works. The suits look at it that way, but gamers don't look at it that way, right? So you want to throw a BR into Halo? I mean, I don't understand why. I'm pretty sure that the actual mechanics and what Halo was self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Right? It's a sci-fi drama about the end of humanity and the humanity trying to stop itself from being eradicated by a far superior alien race, right? And they had to decide between using a plague that would kill everybody to hold them back or to try to use the future weapon that will destroy the whole universe. Like, which one do you pick? Like, we all know the story, right? I would say make stories inside the Halo universe instead of trying to piggyback Master Chief into oblivion, right? I personally would go down the road of Reach, right? I would go where the Spartan program was new Everybody gets to pick a Spartan. Nobody's Master Chief, but they are that type of Spartan.
Right.
Specialized Spartans in specific categories. You pick the Spartan. That's the guy you are. Master Chief can be involved in the story, but you don't get to play Master Chief, right? Because we want to separate from everybody else now, right? I would say stick with the reach, right? And as a matter of fact, I would probably say even that maybe you're a lonely Scroat soldier first, and you get picked. The story could be you're the lonely Scroat soldier, get picked, and then you go through the process of being injected and souped up to be the Spartan that you want to be as the story progresses. So that by the end of that game that you make, you are the Spartan that you chose in the beginning that you work up toward. And then once you have that character, if the game is good and it moves to a sequel, then you can take that character and move it on to the next story as the sniper or the bazooka guy. Yes. That I can see possibly working. But show me what you can do.
Do you think, I'll ask this to chat as well. Chat, do you think that, no, I haven't played Halo Infinite, so I don't really know how the setup is there, right? Is it sort of like Minecraft or Fortnite, where I understand Forge is there, right? But is it a category where they make stuff and then the community makes stuff and there's a whole bunch of stuff there that you can choose and pick from? Is that how it is? Because I feel like that's the way they're going to go with the Unreal Engine. They're going to go with like what Fortnite's doing, where it's community-made stuff. It's going to be, like Epic exclusive stuff. It's going to be qualified people that are making things, and then it's going to be anyone that can make anything they want. So my question, I guess, is, do you guys think that it'll be 5 separate games, or do you think the 5 games will just be all in one, under one hood? You know what I mean? Like, you play Halo, you play PvP, you play Grand Battles, you play Battle Royale, you play Halo, not Reach, what was the RTS one? Halo Wars.
Halo
right?
Wars.
Yeah. Like, do they make stuff like that and put it all underneath one one umbrella, or do they make it, this year's Halo, next year's Halo Battle Royale, next year's Halo War? You know what I mean? Like the following, and they just keep coming.
You could turn Halo right now into Halo Wars. It'd be like PlanetSide. That's exactly what it would be like.
Or
it would be just like
Helldivers, like Helldivers as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what it would be.
Yeah, I feel like they could go either way, but I personally think that the Unreal Engine will be a good move. I don't think the Unreal Engine is good for everything, but I do think the Unreal Engine will be good for them with this game. But we'll see. Xbox, moving from that to this, Xbox will be selling games directly to the Android app next month. Okay. So Microsoft is planning to update the Xbox mobile app on Android to allow the U.S. users to purchase directly from their cell phones, okay, and play the Xbox games on their mobile devices next month. Following the U.S. court ruling earlier this week,
just in time for Christmas,
forces Google to stop requiring Google Play billing or for apps in the Play Store November 1st, and Microsoft is already taking advantage of this change. Now, the court ruling to open up Google's mobile store in the U.S. will also allow the choice of flexibility, says Xbox President Sarah Bond to post on X. Our mission is to allow more players to play on more devices, so they're thrilled to share that starting in November, players will be able to play and purchase Xbox games directly from the Xbox app on Android. Google's Android App Store will also be a legal monopoly, and Search Giant can also be ordered to open up and Play Store to competition for 3 years. This means no longer forcing developers to use its own Google Play billing after the jury found Google had illegally tied payment systems to their App Store. Google will also have to distribute rival third-party stores within Google Play. So this is huge, Sarge, because they just opened it up to I don't know how many Android devices are out there, right?
The other half of the planet.
It's like 500 billion, whatever, right? And now people can just buy their Xbox games and play their Xbox games directly from the mobile device. And on top of that, Microsoft next month is also opening up any game that you've purchased, okay? You'll be able to play that remotely as well on top of the stuff. So you don't ever have to like play. You'll be able to access the games that you purchase and own. You'll be able to play those anywhere as well. Okay.
I think that this is just like one of those little stepping stones. Like you keep trying to explain to people that you can play the game anywhere you want, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I have an Xbox," and you're like, "No, you can buy the game anywhere and play anywhere. And they're like, yeah, I got an Xbox. We're good. Like, and you're just trying to explain to people over and over again that you can play on your iPad. You can play on your phone. Like, certain people get it right away. They're like, yeah, I understand. I just don't play those on those units, right? But when you do something like this, you'll see someone actually go on their phone like, oh, wait, I can actually buy it on my phone and play it right here, right? That's just basically hand-holding people to say, this is what you can do now.
Right.
Look, this is what we can do now. It's basically what you're doing when you do something like this.
Well, here's another thing.
It's just showing them. Yeah.
They can hide the numbers because let's say a new game comes out. Okay. Let's say, I don't know, Starfield 2. Okay. Years from now, Starfield 2 comes out.
Yep.
And they're like, the biggest game we've ever created. They don't have to tell you sales in any way, shape, or form because you just know that they only have 23 million people that own a console, but they have 1.5 billion people that have a cell phone.
Right.
So they can just tell you
if I buy it, and if I buy it on this, I can play it anywhere.
Right.
Right. So you don't know if you're playing on my Xbox anymore. If you're playing on it doesn't matter.
Right. So someone can say that the game is not successful, and they can just come out and say the game is very successful, and you have no idea if it sold 10 copies or if it sold 10 billion copies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you won't know in any way, shape, or form.
We've already gone over this. Anytime that they do well, they brag about the number right away.
Oh yeah, I mean, look.
Right? Did you talk about? Did you talk about that? Right? And when they don't want you to know about
20 million, they said $1 billion just on this thing. If they want you to know, they'll let you know. Space Marines told you 4.5 million because they want you to know. Yeah,
right away.
Xbox doesn't want you to know. They just say, yeah, there's 30 million people that are playing. But how many did you sell? Right? No, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about that. Shh.
Right.
Shh, don't worry about
right. I guess we're gonna have to pay more attention now to the quarterly reports because you're not gonna get the truth anymore.
I mean, there's a shit ton of people
from just weekly reports anymore.
But here's the thing. Regardless if they sell or don't sell, this is insanity now because overnight, October to November, they go from this many people can buy and play the games to this many people that can buy and play the game.
So what do you think the ads are going to be pointing to? See, I think the ads are going to be pointing to the ads are going to go to people's phones who are parents who show the Xbox and that can be bought on their phone. So now instead of Timmy asking his parents for money to buy stuff on Xbox, the parents are going to get advertisements for Xbox things now, and they can buy it for their kids directly from the phone.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
So this is why I've said years ago, I said that Xbox is not playing in the same game anymore, where people want this console war thing to say that Sony's better than Xbox, and Xbox is saying it's better than PlayStation, and you guys are just not understanding. Overnight, they go from, like, PlayStation can only sell to 60 million people, hence why they're moving into PC now, so they can sell to more than 60 million people, because that's how many people own a PlayStation. Maybe they get to 67 million. Maybe they get all the other 67 million people that are on PlayStation 4 to move over to a PlayStation 5, and that's still 127 million people. Okay? That's it. That is the peak there, and then let's say they go to PC now, which they are, and they get an additional 20 million people.
There's some overlap, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. Just get another 20 million people. Well, great. They're at 147 million people. There's overlap on Xbox, but there's literally people that don't have to buy an Xbox at all. They could just get an account, pay $20 a month for Game Pass or whatever, play it on their phone, play on their television, play on the thing. There's billions of people that can play. It's not even the same stratosphere anymore.
Or at the very least, you could just say hundreds of millions.
Sure.
Right.
The mobile phone market alone
is insane.
4 times the size of the console market of people that play games.
Oh, I think it's
the saturation.
I think it's more than 4. But
no, the saturation point. It's billion. It's a billion devices or whatever. Yeah. Right. There's 250 million people that play on console total. Yeah. There's overlap there between Nintendo and Xbox.
No, you're correct. You're correct. You're correct.
Okay. It's 250. It's like
I'll get the numbers. I'll get the numbers crossed in my head.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times more that. Consoles, if you're just making consoles, you'll never ever hit that market. You'll never ever touch the $1 billion market. That's why Xbox is like, we don't need the console. Fuck it. We just you want the console, you can play the console. But if you don't want the console, you can also play.
Right, doesn't matter. Water, what you have to do is what the rest of us are doing, right? At the end of every year, pay attention to what they're talking about and see how many subscriptions there are. They're slowly going up. We just don't pay attention. We're not paying attention the whole time.
Well,
it was 20. I think they're up to like 30 something now.
It was 32 million, I think, the last time they checked.
Right.
Yeah.
It's moving up. Right.
Right.
They're on the same pace of what Netflix was doing.
Yeah, and I've talked about that in a couple months ago. They're on literally the same trajectory.
They're on the same track as
right?
Netflix.
Netflix, what it was the first 7 years, is exactly what Game Pass has been their first 7 years, and then it exploded in year like 10 or 11.
And this will just help that along.
Right. Now, to say is it better or worse, that's for you to decide. Okay, but what I'm saying is, this is why you can't compete with the companies anymore. They're two different islands, three different islands: Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. So if people want to talk about how they had to go over here to be number one, sure, right? But think about this, right? Ubisoft could be bought out by Tencent, okay, and all of a sudden Tencent is now a player where they could buy a huge company, or Apple decides to buy Ubisoft, or somebody else tries to buy Ubisoft, and now all of a sudden they have all these IPs, all these things, and now they're a big player. Netflix, all of a sudden they have all these little studios that they're making. Okay, all of a sudden Netflix comes over and says, "Now we'll buy Ubisoft." Now they're a big player in the game itself, right? Because they can make real games now and put it on Netflix, and you can play all your games on Netflix on any device, just like Microsoft.
Yep.
Right. And then what's Sony doing? Sony has to start going, all right, well, now we're competing with Nintendo, Xbox, Luna, Netflix, Tencent.
Amazon.
Right.
Yeah.
It changes like this with the technology.
Exponentially faster.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Call of Duty coming out at the end of this month. Okay. We'll see how the numbers shoot up for Game Pass for Call of Duty. Okay, we'll see in November when you can start playing your mobile device game with Call of Duty. We'll see what happens there. And here's another thing. Remember, majority of the population doesn't even finish their games, right?
At all.
So they'll just pay the $20. They'll forget that they're paying $20, and they'll pay again for 20 and over and over and over and over and over. Okay, now the FTC, I don't have a story here, but there's a story, but we're not going to talk about it. The FTC is trying to negate the subscription models automatically renewing. You have to opt out, whatever, or they have to give you an option.
You have to opt in, not
Correct.
Opt out.
I have to say this though, Microsoft makes it super easy. If you go to your billing on the console, because I did Fallout First for 1 month or 2 months. I had Ubisoft Plus. They put it right there for you, and you could put it where you want, automatically renew or cancel right away, and they make it super simple to cancel your stuff for all the stuff that you have on Xbox. Now, I don't know what they do for PlayStation, but other companies put it behind walls and walls and walls. They send you an email.
The reason why it's up front is when they go to court, when the FTC starts complaining, they're going to say, "Oh, no, you don't have to do that." Right? Look, we put it on the front page. It says right there all the easy peasy things you can do.
Right.
Like it's always when they're about to put a big roadblock in front of them, where all of a sudden things become much easier, like the return policies and how you purchase items and like what credit cards are on there and renewal subscriptions. Like all of a sudden becomes very simple. Only when the FTC or somebody goes, "Hey, we got some questions about how you guys are selling stuff." Like, not me. We're all good. Not me.
Right. And here's the thing. Everyone's talking about how, people won't play the first-person shooters on mobile. They already do it.
You won't.
Yeah.
Right?
They already do it. There's millions of people playing it.
There's a whole crew of people beneath you that you don't hang with. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
So we'll see what happens there. Let's see what other fast things that we can talk about. Here's a console coming out, Sarge. I don't know how they get away with this stuff. I honestly don't understand.
Because there's no laws. That's how they get away with it.
So pre-order the Analog 3D, a reimagining of the N64, opens next week. It's a console that costs $250, and the controller from 8-Bit Do. 8-Bit Do, available separately for $40. It can take every single cartridge, okay, that's created from the N64 games, okay, every single one, and it does upscale to 4K resolution. It says it's compatible with every original N64 game ever made, accepts all cartridges from all regions, and includes 4 original style control ports, just like the actual console itself. It retails for $249.99 with controller design, and each controller is $40. Like, I think this is cool, honestly.
I don't understand this.
What don't you understand though?
I don't understand this console. Okay. I don't understand why. Well, we know why Nintendo's not suing them right away. They didn't make any money yet. But the point for me is, like Waterbear says, we have emulators. Like, what is this for? So I can play if I broke my system, still have my games, I'm gonna buy a system for so I can play my Nintendo 64 games with better graphics. Is that
With the 4K
is that what you're telling
resolution.
me?
Yeah, that's it.
Like, I don't. How is it legal? Is it because they're just selling the apparatus to play the game on, not selling a game?
I guess, right? I guess because they're not selling the game; they're just selling the console for you to play your game. I'm not sure. I do think it's cool though, because if you don't have a working N64 and you want $250, I mean, you can get all your old games and play them again.
I mean, it just seems strange to me. I'm gonna keep my eye on this. I want to see when they pull the lawyers. I want to see when it happens.
Apparently, this company makes other devices and they do very well. So I'm not sure.
They're not selling IP. They're not selling. It's just the unit that plays the games, because Nintendo's not making any more N64 games or systems. So they're just making the system so other people can play games that they had.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, $250 is pretty steep for it. I mean, but whatever. To me, this is just like the Atari system that they created, right? Where it pays like 2,500 games or whatever. It's just like, chat, what do you guys think? You guys are gonna pick this up for $250, or are you gonna pick up? You're gonna put that $250 towards a PlayStation 5 Pro on top of your trade-in?
All I keep thinking about is emulation. That's all I keep thinking about.
Yeah, you can just go to the browser right now and type in a game, and it probably can play it.
Like, if I cared enough, I would just go through the entire NES or Super NES library and just type in an emulator and look for games I used to play. I guarantee you I can play them right now. That's why I don't understand stuff like this.
All right, well, the next story I want to talk about is James Bond. Okay, I talked about this earlier today. All right, IO Interactive James Bond game will feature a young 007 that gamers can call their own. All right, so IO is the same company, Interactive is the same people that make Hitman and whatnot. Do you ever play any of the Hitman games, Sarge?
The original one.
Okay, so they've made the other Hitman games, which people were talking about earlier, was basically a James Bond game, just just put the theme.
Well, a James Bond game is more of a how do I say this properly? It should be more like a Hitman meets Uncharted. Like, that's how a James Bond thing should go. There's supposed to be some action adventure and some assassinations. It shouldn't just be one or the other.
Yeah, you need to take the assassination part, mix it with the Mass Effect, where you can sleep with anybody.
Like, it has to be more. It has to be more intrigue. There has to be more intrigue in the game. It's not like a straight up action game for it to be a James Bond.
Right.
Game.
I think it has to have a lot of dialogue. It has to have good action sequences. It has to have. My thing that I said is that no matter what they do, they just got to make sure that you're a guy. That's it. Right. Not a customization of where you can be a guy and a girl and put your pronouns and stuff. Just make James Bond. Make your character, make him look however you want to make James Bond look, but it has to be a guy, in my opinion.
But a James Bond game, once again, could be a really good game, but it couldn't be like a run-of-the-mill game. You'd have to actually spend time on it. You could make a good James Bond game. And I'm not talking about like a GoldenEye remake type of thing either. I'm talking about like an actual story plot. You want to start off with James Bond, young, just got into MI6 type of thing, and you want to do that kind of story. I could see it possibly happening.
I mean,
but you need to take your time on it.
Just like you said earlier, right? Taking the character and moving it to the next game, right? Like Halo or whatever. Same thing with this. If they make a young James Bond, you start James Bond as a fresh MI6 character, okay? And then all of a sudden now they make a sequel, and now you're in you're maybe takes place a couple years later.
The way I look at stuff like this is I see like a James Bond game as like, and don't take me verbatim on this. I'm going down the rabbit hole inside my head here because of all the stuff that's happening. I see a proper James Bond game becoming an actual quadruple A game where it's got AI helping it. It's got depth story, action adventure. It's an actual feature game type of movie type game,
Sure.
right? That's continuous. Like it could have chapters, right? Like a sequel comes out, it's another story, another mission that goes on, but the core game is still there. Yeah,
with your
that's
character.
how I see that type of game.
I picture it like this: you got Mass Effect storyline. Okay, you have Call of Duty action sequences. Okay, like
First person or third.
Well, I would like third person, because if you're going to make your own character, I would like to see them. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is the action sequences that they do in like Call of Duty for their single player campaigns, like that type of action sequences, and then also mixed with a Hitman type of game as well, like that type of stuff where some missions are like slow going, strategic. Then there's the dialogue with the conversations with the females and the other directors and the bad guys, and then there's the action sequences like Call of Duty, and just put the little, the kiss.
Yeah, but you see the complexity of what that could be.
Yeah,
right. If you were gonna make it like a badass game that people want to play, they want that experience. Like that's how I would see a game done like that.
Yeah, I think they could do something really well with this, and if there is the sequels, like you're saying with the chapters, and if I make my Bond, okay, like a Mass Effect character, right, and then the next game comes out and I continue my character, you're respecting my time, right?
Or the guys who like to play hardcore, if you play hardcore, you can't die.
Right.
You got to figure out the game and not die, right? That would be kind of cool. You only have so many gadgets, you only have so many things, and you have to have choices throughout the adventure, right? Choices to do something or something else. Consequences. Do you see the scope of what that type of game could be? That's why I say in present day gaming, that would be a quadruple A game, right? So you'd have to start off small, make a James Bond game that's decent, like an Uncharted or a Hitman, to see if people like it. And then once you got the population of people who actually like it, then you make the sequel, the Bad Boy game. That goes quadruple A. Because you couldn't rest all your chips on that from the onset. They wouldn't gamble. They wouldn't be able to do it.
All right, a couple fast stories here. It Takes Two passes an incredible sales milestone. It Takes Two, which is a game, was one game of the year back in 2021. It reached 20 million copies sold. Okay, the sales of Take Two continued to hit, rising 10 million in February 2023 and doubled to 20 million in a year and a half. So there's that. Then we have a guy who created the Halo Warthog by himself. Let me bring this up. All right, this is he created the Warthog. Okay, so meet the Halo fan who built a life-size Warthog in his garage. Okay, so
gamers are gonna game, bro.
He created the entire. Look at that.
Awesome. Now, if it's practical, don't think the military is not keeping their eye on it.
Yeah, I don't think the gun works on the back of it, but maybe it does.
Not yet.
Who knows?
Not yet.
That's pretty cool, though. I'm surprised. Like Elon Musk didn't make a car like this instead of the Cybertruck. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have thought he would have made the Warthog more than the Cybertruck personally, right? Maybe he'll make that for the military, right? Speaking of Elon Musk, okay, he had an event where he showed the Tesla taxi. Okay, he showed the Tesla taxi. He showed the Robo-Van. Okay, and he showed the robots. Now the robots, it was cool, but they're being operated by people behind the scenes that were working the bars and stuff like that. But that's the first generation of like what it is, right? You know what I mean?
iRobot's down the road.
Well, right. So iRobot, I'm gonna bring this up on the screen. Okay, this is what he created, and it's literally a 1-to-1 of iRobot. Okay, like 100% inspiration from all three, right? So he has the robot, okay, that he created, and there's the robot from iRobot. There's the taxi. This is his taxi on the right-hand side that is going to be in production, $30,000, where people can buy it and then have like a fleet of cars to run their automated taxi system, okay? And there's the car, the Audi in iRobot, okay? And then you have the Robo-Van at the bottom, which is on the right side, is the one that's coming out that holds 20 people. And there's the Robo-Van in iRobot, right? Like this is Come on, Elon. Wait,
art imitates life.
right.
Art
Okay.
imitates life, and life imitates art.
Now,
Like, how many sci-fi movies have you watched over the years with the futuristic-looking cars, and you're like, they're not going to look like that? And every year that passes by, more and more cars start looking exactly like the cars that we saw in all those crazy sci-fi films from back when we were younger.
well, right, they're all going to become Johnny Cabs, Salty, from like Total Recall, right? The car, this car, by the way, has no steering wheel, no pedals. It's all automated. Okay. So Duplass asked, did he create it or people that he employed? Well, he pays billions of dollars for these people to come up with stuff. I'm sure he comes up with it and then he pays people to create them. Okay. I mean, obviously, I think it would be Elon coming up with it, considering he just took inspiration from iRobot. It was like, I want that. Make it for me, right? Like that's basically.
It
right?
really, truly is incredible. See, people look at it; they look at it with a side eye, like they don't really appreciate it. But it takes crazy, savvy businessmen like Elon Musk to push society forward. Okay, the guys that invented electricity, forward.
Right.
The guys that invented the combustion engine, forward. You're pushed forward. People are like, what is that crazy machine running around by itself? Who's controlling? Like, same concepts.
Well,
Push
remember
forward.
that movie? Remember that movie, The Gamer? Did you guys ever watch the movie The Gamer?
It wasn't that good, but I remember it.
Where the people, they had these devices on them. The prisoners had these devices on them, and children or teenagers or people were operating these, controlling them from their houses, and they thought they were just controlling themselves, like they were just playing a game, but they were actually controlling actual prisoners. Now, just take these robots, for instance. Now, Elon says that this will be the #1 selling thing ever in the history of the world. Okay? He says that every person on the planet will have their own servant, will have their own robot. The robot's going to be, once in production, they're going to be around $30,000 or whatever. Okay? He says that most people will have these billions of them. There'll be billions of them. My question is, though, like at his party, like I'm in my house right now, and I could be like, oh, I'm working tonight, right? I have this suit on, and I'm operating. I can see through the robot's eyes. I'm at a party, and I'm a robot, but I'm a bartender. I'm a whatever. I'm running around with a gun in a video game, and there's an actual robot running around in the world actually shooting people, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not too far off from this, where an entire army could be robots like this, okay, and being controlled by people from their houses or from just like Ready Player One type of stuff, right? Just like the movie The Gamer, okay? So, and on top of that, if these robots do start to operate on their own and start to do stuff, I don't know, man. Like, I understand people will let their guard down and, like, it'll water their plants and take out the garbage and walk the dog and punch a hole through the wall and kill your neighbor, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? So much so that the other story, which is going along the lines of this, obviously it's not killing anybody, but there's a vacuum cleaner, Sarge, okay? There's a vacuum cleaner it's a robo vacuum cleaner, okay? And the robo vacuum cleaners are being hacked to spy on your family, chase pets, hurl verbal assaults, and makers claim users do not need to worry excessively about this, okay? Like, this is this, Sarge. Hold on. Let me bring it up. This is this, right? Obviously, this can't do that much damage, right? It's spying on you. It's listening to you, right? It eavesdrops on you. If you go back to the robot with arms that can pick up things and use stuff, if someone can hack a vacuum cleaner to do this stuff, what's to tell you that they can't do it to a robot that's in everyone's house that's iron and metal and carbon fiber that could literally kill you by just squeezing your head? Right? I saw iRobot.
Everybody wants to pretend like it can't happen. It's all these safeguard features in it, and I keep hearing all these safeguard features. Meanwhile, why do I have to pay money every month to protect my identity? Because I'm worried about people getting hacked, right? So
Make the problem, solve the solution.
Think about it. I don't trust anything. Think about the mental thought process here. Ready? I don't trust anything in the world with my identification, but I'm going to give my money every month to another group of people who say they're going to protect my identity from all these people. Does that make sense to you?
Right.
Right.
Well, you
That
make the
thought
problem.
process is broken.
You make the problem, you
Right?
sell a solution, and
It's
then you
very
make
simple.
a solution and sell it for a lot of money.
It's very simple.
Scare tactic.
If and when robots and cars like this happen to come out and they are part of everyday life, then Sarge will be the first one with pocket EMP devices that he has in his house. Right, in case some shit goes down, we have to have an
right
EMP.
inside your house is insulated, installed. You hit a button on your phone.
No, I'm talking about. Listen, don't think for a moment they're going to invent something like that, and the military is not going to come out with an EMP grenade. Don't think for a moment that that's not going to happen. And when that does happen, people like me and other people who think like us will have EMP grenades on the standby, waiting for stuff like this.
Yeah, I just think this is funny. They're like, oh yeah, everyone's going to have a robot, and that's great. What happens when it breaks? What happens when it short circuits and wants to murder you?
You gotta have a big off button. But knowing these crazy guys, the off button will be where the crotch is. That's where the emergency off button will be.
It's a little button on top of his head. It's like a boss fight in all the games that you're playing, like the Dark Souls. That's what you're gonna have to do to get this thing. You're gonna be like, all right, you gotta sweep the leg, Johnny.
It's absolutely,
sweep the leg.
look, it's absolutely madness. Like, I'm hoping I won't be around when this thing comes full normalcy, where cars have no steering wheels, robots are walking around because you can't walk your dog. The robots are walking your dogs and shit like this, right? So the first thing that the robots are going to be killing is Fluffy. They're not going to be killing humans. They're going to learn how to kill dogs, and it'll be an accident. And they'll all have cameras on, right? Every robot's got cameras on. Like every robot will be like a cop with a.
It'll be like a ring. It'll be like a ring camera.
Except that when your dog dies, the camera mysteriously goes off. You can't find out what happened to the dog after that. And all of a sudden, the dog he comes back with a leash that's just bloody. There's no dog. Where is Fluffy? I do not know. I do not know where Fluffy is.
He ran away. You check
or
your
phone.
Better
Better yet, the voice won't even sound robotic. You'll be able to pick the voice that you hear because they can synthesize anybody's voice that you want, right?
Right.
So you'll program it somebody's famous who's walking your dog, talking to the dog. Sounds like some famous
Morgan
guy.
Freeman. What did you do?
Right. I do not know what happened to your canine. I was very sad to know that your canine does not exist anymore. My apologies. Be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
All right. There's one more story I want to talk about. It's just letting you know that Epic Universe is opening up in May of next year. It's Mario time when Universal Epic Universe opens in May of 2025. This is going to be a fucking madhouse over here. Okay,
you're not gonna become anywhere near that place, bro.
No, for at least
you're not gonna be able to go anywhere near that place. You're gonna tell me I can take my kid to Universal and be on Mario Kart live? There's no way anyone's gonna get near that.
I'll tell you, this is what we're doing. This is our plan, Sarge. Just let you know. If you stay in the hotels over there, you get to go in the park early to go on the rides and stuff ahead of time.
Yeah.
So when we do that, we're gonna stay at a hotel. We'll let you know. You come and stay with us, and then we'll go to the park.
We'll go early.
So. A few days of rumors, Universal announced that Thursday that highly anticipated fourth theme park, Universal Epic Universe, will officially open on May 22nd, and the massive interlocked resort will have 5 worlds, each with its unique theme tied into the particular franchise under the Universal umbrella. Okay, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the Ministry of Magic, Super Nintendo World, and How to Train Your Dragon Isles of Berk, and Dark Universe. The opening of the Epic Universe will transform Universal Studios resorts into a possible week-long vacation destination compared to just parks. About 11 hotels are aiming for a destination themselves, amongst them the hotel, which also furnished with 500 rooms. This is also such a pivotal moment in our destination. We'll also be thrilled to welcome guests in the Epic Universe next year, said Universal Orlando President COO Karen Irwin. With the addition of the spectacular new theme park, the guests will also embark on an unforgettable vacation experience with a week's worth of thrills that are also noting short of Epic, right? So between all 3 parks, between the Universal Studios, Islands of Adventures, and now the Epic Universe, like you can come here for literally a week and just spend that week inside of Universal Studios alone.
It's time for Disney to finally have some competition.
Right? Yeah, so it says it should be noted that annual pass holders have an exclusive opportunity to purchase single-day tickets to Universal Epic Universe before they go on sale on the general public. Pass holders can also take advantage of the priority opportunity beginning on Thursday, October 24th. Additional ticket products for Epic Universe, including single-day tickets for general public, additional multi-day tickets, and Florida resident tickets. So there you go. I want to click on this and see what the game, but you get to go on Mario Kart. It's a Mario Kart ride with like the virtual headset on your head. So you're going to be...
Yeah, you think you're in Mario Kart. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with that is 10,000 people, sweaty heads, and wearing a VR thing. That's the only thing I have a problem with.
Yeah, you get a little case of pink eye. You know. Did you have fun, though? Did you have fun when you went to the... I went to Universal for a week. I got pink eye.
All right, I watch how people treat themselves and how they take care of themselves. I would go the first week. After the first year, I don't think I would go on the ride anymore. I'm not putting a virtual helmet on that's been on 20,000 other people's faces. Okay? I'm hoping the whole piece comes off. Like the piece comes off.
No, they wash them down. They
hose it down with a hose. I guess some
they literally go through this.
Spray some
machine.
Febreze on it.
They go through a machine. They put it in a garbage can. They take the garbage can in the back. They put it down, and they go through a machine. It scans it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yep.
All very sanitary.
It's not like the laser tag places back in the day, Sarge, where they're like,
"Oh my god, dude!"
With the Lysol.
It's almost as bad as them spraying that stuff in bowling shoes.
Yeah.
That little spray they put in the bowling. Yeah. That's about as good as it gets.
We're past those days, Sarge. They have the infrared shit now and whatnot. All right. So we got some questions. If you guys have any more questions you would like to ask us, you can put a Q in before your question. All right, if you'd like to do a super chat, you can do that as well.
I'm excited for this 40K Battlefield game. I got news for you. I'm excited.
So let's get to the Q&A part of the show. All right. Let me bring up the you can see those, right, Sarge? They're in the
I got 40K on the brain.
Other tab there up on top so you can see the questions. The first question comes from Travis. He says, "Do we trust them not to mess up James Bond game?" No, I don't trust them at all. That's the first thing. I'm like, they're going to fuck it up, right? And that's why I said the only thing they have to do to not fuck it up is just make sure it's a guy. That's it.
They're gonna make you be able to pick. You could pick guy or girl. That's what they're gonna do.
You can't pick guy or girl. It has to be a guy. James Bond. It's not Jamie Bond.
You don't understand the actual attack on masculinity that's going on right now. Like you don't understand it. You think it's a joke. They are literally trying to suppress masculinity because they are labeling it as some kind of like evil totalitarian conspiracy. Like we're all out to kill everybody. Like they don't seem to understand that if not for us, you wouldn't be around. Right. You wouldn't have cities or cars or every invention on the fucking planet without us. Like, I don't understand this whole feminizing of men. It's disgusting. Like, you need feminine women and you need masculine men. That's how the world works. If you want to muddle it all together, then you're going to get a muddle around society. And it doesn't work well for anybody. It's just a joke at this point. Like James Bond is a masculine character because it was made by a man who wrote a bunch of novels and they decided to make movies about it, right? Sorry, you don't have one. Go make your own spy.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I said earlier.
Did you watch Atomic Blonde?
Yeah.
Right. I thought Atomic Blonde was as close as you can get using a woman in that type of profession.
Heart of Stone is a movie like that with Gal Gadot is the same type of thing.
Right?
Like
I think that's the closest you're going to, because they show that, yes, she can fight, but she's going to get her ass kicked. She's got to be better than them and know some type of moves in order to evade being overwhelmed. Like that was the closest you get. Like I thought that was done very well. Very well.
All right, next question we have. Question from Altern. He says, if Destiny Rising was released on PC/console/mobile//, will you still play it knowing it's cross-play on mobile? I'll let Sarge go first.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm thinking before I say stuff. I won't just open my mouth and out just trash comes out. I'm out of the Destiny loop, right? But I would see the generation below, the couple generations below me, who understand Destiny and want to play it. This gives an avenue of accessibility that allows an entirely new group of kids who are used to touching screens with their fingers and playing that way. And you introduce the addictiveness and the game loop of Destiny to them. I think that's a win. Now, the older crowd, if they port it over to another system that they can play it, then I assure you they would play it as well. I myself are out of the Destiny loop. I had my fun with it for 6 years. I'm out. But I could see how it could do very, very well.
I will try it. If I get into it, I will try it. But I'm out if it's on. Obviously, if it comes to PC or console, I might go in if I feel like it's a good game. Okay, but at the end of the day, it's still a mobile game. So even if it came to PC, even if it came to console, it's a mobile game. And with mobile games comes more microtransactions than a regular game on consoles. So it's a hard out for me just because it's a mobile game. And
Younger kids are
when
going
you
to love
say mobile,
it,
bro. It's just the way it's built from the ground up.
The younger kids are going to love it.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. The next one, Krebsy says, "What is your favorite Space Marine chapter?"
I answered this before. I'm sticking with the original 18. I'm not going to the other ones. I go back and forth between Blood Angels and Space Wolves.
I don't have one.
I like the lore for both of those chapters, and I like the entire the complexity of those two chapters and the relation to the universe as a whole. I like those two chapters.
Yeah, I don't have one because I'm not a big fan. I know Sarge when we were growing up, he was.
I mean, if you like the Mets, right,
stuff.
Mike? You like the Mets, then you'd like Ultramarines. Is probably your pick.
All right.
If you like the Mets in baseball, then you're probably gonna like Ultramarines.
Speaking of the Mets, are the Mets winning tonight? I know they tied the series up 1-1.
I didn't pay attention.
I don't even know if they're playing tonight. I think
they got destroyed the other day, so I'm not sure.
They lost 9-0, but then they won 7-3. So
yep.
All right, the next question. Well, it's not a question, but I'm gonna repost it because Dark Taco became a member, and we're gonna say it again. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you. So we'll take that down. All right, thank you very much. Next one's All Turn says, "Do you think that one of the projects of Halo mobile games? Do you think that one of those projects in the Halo mobile game, Unreal Engine 5, can make mobile games too?" Yeah, why not? I think here's what I think they're doing. I think they're making Halo Wars, right? A new Halo Wars. I think they're making a Halo Battle Royale. I think they're making a Helldivers type of game for Halo as well. They're making a single player new Halo. And then why not make a Halo mobile? There's the 5 games that they're working on. What about you, Sarge?
I don't know, man. I think they flushed down the IP so bad. If they're working on multiple titles of Halo before they realize if people still even want to think about Halo anymore, then I think it's already a mistake. But we'll see what happens. Like, I think that the brand has been damaged so badly, and there's so much competition now. I don't know. Like, they don't know how to treat the IP that they're supposed to carry with them. Like, I feel the same way about Gears. I think we're just one game away. They're gonna piss Gears away into the toilet as well. And I love Gears. And Gears basically is as close to 40K as we had before 40K came out. Like, Gears was it because they're dressed the same type of weapons. Same type of alien races. It's almost like the demons. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking the guys that invented Gears when they first came up with it were definitely 40K fans. Like 100%.
Oh yeah, I think they inspired
100%.
them 100%.
Same thing with StarCraft. Same thing with StarCraft. StarCraft Marines and the Earth group.
Speaking of StarCraft is now on Game Pass on PC.
Oh, okay.
So if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you can play it on PC. Next one. Altern says, Halo Kart Racer, yes or no?
If the first game wins, then I'll say yes. If they don't make it past the first game, then no.
I'll say this, Altern. I think there'll be a kart racer. I think Kingard said it yesterday. That I think there's already stuff like that already in the Forge mode that people created within Halo. So I'll say yes. All right. Let's see. Krebsy says, how was your time during the hurricane? Any big things happen around you to do with the hurricane? Yeah, I got flooded. Our back bathroom was completely flooded. Our front room was completely saturated. It's still drying as we speak. We still have issues with the street right down the road, like in front of our house, because the land across the street from us is downhill, and they're flooded on their back half. So all the water is running down their property, running down the road, running into our property, saturating our front grass, which is still flooding by our house. So yeah, there's that. We lost a back driveway, completely eroded, gone, went into the lake. We lost a lot of trees. Anything by you, Sarge?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, we had everything from Delray Beach north was tornadoes, like 15 or 20 tornadoes.
Yeah, there was 122 tornadoes that touched down during.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, there's only one storm that beat it, and that was from I think 2011 or 2017. It had 160, I think, some of that. Let's see. Salty says, "Did either of you play Alien Isolation or horror title? Not your cup of tea." Nah, I didn't.
I tried it.
I didn't. I've never played it. I'm not a big horror genre fan. I think the last horror game I played, besides like a Left 4 Dead, stuff like that, I think the last one I played was Dead Space at my buddy's house, John's house.
I liked it a little bit. My problem with it was the alien was buggy, so it broke the immersion. But like I always liked that kind of feeling. Like I had nightmares as a kid of being in that exact situation where the thing is after you and you're the only one left. So like I'm used to being in that mindset. So I've always been terrified as a kid. So when I see those games, all it is me reliving my dreams and reality.
Right.
Right. So I thought it was done well. I think that with today's technology, if they did a redo of that one and did it a little bit more and care a little bit more about it, where the AI is done better, then yeah. Because it's more of a kind of like a puzzle game, like try to figure out how to survive and kill the item in a certain amount of time. It's almost like a more complex version of that old game from the Amiga days. It's not called Impossible Mission. It's called Impossible Mission, where you had to figure out the puzzle, put the weapon together, defuse the bomb, and the game lasted 30 minutes. You had 30 minutes to figure it out, and if you didn't win, the game was over. So same type of premise. I think if that's the kind of thing that you did with that, with a good AI, like some good game mechanics, I think it'd be done well again.
Well, they're coming out with the sequel, I believe. All right, so let's go with the next one. Robert Jones says, question, did you know it was illegal to research your own EMPs? I did not. So if I type it in right now, I'll be on the list.
Well, let's put it this way. And I'm gonna end on this, and you guys can look up whatever you want. Right? The reason why there's a complete and total pushback on the education system is they can't have the masses being intelligent enough to do exactly what you're typing there. If you have tens of millions of people smart enough to make their own weapons, then that's a problem.
Right.
So you have to keep the masses stupid and fighting each other so they're not concentrated on doing exactly what you just typed.
Well, they don't have to worry.
That's why the Anarchist Cookbook was on the blacklist for many years. Some people still have it. Other people are looking for it.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube channel the other day, and a person was just asking people questions off the street, and they were fucking morons. They didn't know who fought in the Civil War. They didn't know. I was like,
it's not a joke.
I know it's not.
Scientists have figured out that if the average intelligence of the people was at a certain level, that they couldn't maintain peace because everybody would be looking up trying to do other kinds of stuff.
Of course.
If you got to keep the populace dumb and fighting each other and worrying about stupid shit like Chanel bags and fucking desktop computers, as opposed to looking up weapons and trying to build shit in your closet.
Right.
Okay.
All right. The next one, Salty says, have you heard of the MMORPG new game called Arc-Age Chronicles? If not, check it out. I have heard of it. I haven't done much research on it yet. I was waiting for more of it to come out, but it looks pretty cool. Have you heard about it, Sarge?
Say it again.
The Arc-Age Chronicles?
I don't think I've heard of this one.
No,
I don't think I've heard of it. Is this it's an MMO, right?
it's an MMO coming out. Yeah, they're still pretty far off.
I don't. The MMO thing is the same as we talked about earlier. There are too many games that want too much of your time. I don't see how all these games survive. I just don't. Especially MMOs. Especially MMOs. Like, I think Amazon's just pissing into the wind to see which one of these games sticks. I'm sure one of them will stick around for a little while.
I don't think that's an Amazon one. But
no, not them. Talk
Yeah.
about the other games that Amazon is doing.
This one is Krebsy's asking, after playing Thrones of Convoluted, what would you fix with the game?
They had to keep a reason to keep you playing. That's what that is.
I don't like the material and how to level up your weapons. It's so convoluted. Like, you don't need that, but they need that because it's a free to play game, and because it's a free to play game, that's how you pay to get certain things to get faster. I don't like that in the game. That's my biggest complaint. As far as like the traveling, the way the menu systems could do a lot of work. There's fucking menus after menus, and the UI is all over the place. Overall, though, I have to say, for what it is, it's actually pretty good. It's actually a pretty good game. It runs pretty goddamn smooth. It looks fantastic. Combat needs a little bit more fixing, personally. But after knowing that it was a mobile game and it was a self-played mobile game, and now that the combat that they put in the game, hopefully they can put something in to make it feel better. But overall, I just don't like the monetization stuff, and I would rather, to fix the game, just charge $60, $70 as a game and let me earn stuff, because the way the convolution of just leveling up your stuff, because I fucked up, right, Sarge? I didn't level up my green gear all the way to 6.
I did.
Right? So one of my pieces of gear, okay, I had a 3, and then when I found the blue piece of gear, I took this green and put it into my blue right away.
I told you if you're going to play that game, go over to the observatory, hang out in the field where the goblins are. The goblins, their drop rate for the green books is higher.
Yeah, but
Sit
I don't
there
need
for a
green
while
books
and
anymore.
level up.
I don't.
No,
need
I
green
know,
books
but you can max out your greens and dump them into your blue.
No, but this is my problem. I already took the green and put it into the blue. Now it doesn't matter because I only can get the blue material to level up that blue. Well, blue's harder to get.
But you can change your green into blue.
No, you have to use the same. No, it's fucked up. So now, because if I didn't move the green to the blue, I could still level up the green. But because I moved that green over, now I have to get the blue items to level up that gear more.
No, I'm pretty sure you can trade in 5 greens for 1 blue. You can morph them. You can change them. Yes, that's the whole point.
But it still takes longer now because now I have to get the green and then convert 5-to-1 ratio or whatever.
Yes, but that's why I say hang out in that area where the observatory is. Hang out where the goblins are. They have a higher drop rate. Pull some guys in. Set up your build for AOE. Pull them in. Kill. Repeat. You'll level up. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I'm liking it. What about you, Sarge? What would you change or fix?
It's the way it's set up. It's set up exactly the way it's supposed to be. I can't get involved anymore with something like that because it is convoluted. It's done on purpose to keep you busy. Like, I want to play the game because I want to be in the world and play the game. I don't want to be there worrying about I'm not strong enough. Every time I go someplace new, I'm not strong enough. So I have to do this homework assignment in order for me to exist in the zone I want to hang out in because I'm underpowered. Right. And then I have to go through the process instead of just existing in the world and just going where I want. Because I noticed right away, if you don't level up the gear and you went to a different zone, you were nuked. You couldn't fight off one guy. Never mind multiple guys that pulled towards you.
In the dungeons,
the only saving grace though in that one was the fact that you don't aggro things automatically. Only certain guys aggro instead of like guys. Everybody aggro.
The red guys, the yellows don't. Yeah. I'm in a dungeon, level 20 dungeon. I'm a level 32. I can't kill a guy fast enough. You have to go in with a group.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they do the math. They know how much damage you do.
But if you're in with the
how
group,
long it takes.
If you're in with the group, it goes super fast. So, all right, that is the last question. We do appreciate you guys for asking the questions each and every single week. We'll do this. We'll as we're going through. Let me click that to get that off the screen. Each and every single week, as we do throughout the show, we'll put the Ask a question, put the cues in front of the question. We'll add those to the end of the show. If you would like to have your question or you have a question for us, you want to get it answered faster, you can use the super chat functionality in YouTube. We do appreciate you very much for coming out and watching episode 414. If you like to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We're here every single Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Go over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and you can also listen to us or watch us over on Spotify as well. I think all the episodes, all 414, there might be a couple missing, but if you want to check out some of our past broadcasts and whatnot, they're all there for you. We appreciate you very much. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Game on, guys.
They're two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.